us. Hello again, denizens of the internet. I am CADAVE, and I am happy to be back, leading the charge into the darkness that is our London calling, Vaesen, because I was told again on the Discord that I should go with the different. Every time I look it up or get guidance on this, it's going to be different. So, uh, Vaesen actual play, by Free League Games, here on the Happy Jacks RPG Network. This is our third session. I want to take a little moment to give everybody a little bit of a heads up. This is a horror-leaning game, so it's going to have some dark themes. It's going to have some creepiness. There may be some violence. There may be murder and the dead and things like that involved in our game. All of our players here that we'll talk to in a second and myself have discussed safety tools about making sure that we're all having fun and not going into places that are not fun, because that's the whole point of gaming, right? But we're on top of that. But if you, as a listener or a viewer, aren't prepared for creepy, scary, dark things, the supernatural, communicating with the dead through the veil of our existence, things like that, now's your chance to tune out. I hope you stay, though, because I am having a lot of fun being creepy and finding interesting and creepy things to do in 1920s Britain. Because we haven't really gone to the other parts of surrounding territories yet, so we're still in Britain. Although I guess maybe the train passed through Wales. I'm not sure on that. But just for a little bit. Now, I will point out also that Mitch, our fourth usual player, Diablo's driver, is not going to be able to join us right now. He's not feeling great, but he may be able to join us when we take our break a little bit later. So we'll keep our fingers crossed, but that's why we have a blank square for this evening so far. But with that, I'll pass it around. Let's start with Clara.
Hello, I'm Clara. I am playing Saoirse Sheehy, who is an Irish writer who is in London for some reason. Or I guess now we're in Liverpool for an explicit reason. She is allergic to the Vaesen. I'm still going to say Vaesen because that's where we're at. Until someone corrects me with an audio file. Yes. But yes, she's allergic to the Vaesen because she used to be a changeling for about 3 days, and then because babies are gross, she wiped her nose on a Fae Queen's dress, and they were like, "Take it back, that's disgusting," and she's been allergic ever since. I don't know why fairies take babies. Anyway, yeah.
All right. Kurt.
Hi, I'm Kurt, he, him. I am playing Jackie Princeton, the Texas Tornado. He is the athlete archetype, and he is a boxer, and he is from Texas. Little out of his own waters here in old London town.
Dig it. But successfully had a morning naked wrestle punch match.
He did do that. Yes, that is true. That is true. Things get weird when Diablo's around.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice, though.
We're gonna have to lift our weight. We're gonna have to like get extra weird now that today, which is gonna be scary.
All right, yeah. Samantha.
Hello, I'm Sam. I play oh god, who am I? Sean Jones, who is a real occultist and fake Welsh person.
That's my favorite. All right. Also, real quick, everybody, your character's pronouns for me, just so we make sure we're all on that reverse order. Sam.
Me. She, her for me in real life, and she, her for Sean.
Cool. Kurt?
He, him for both.
Great. Clara?
She, her
All right.
for both
perfect.
of us.
And I am a he, him myself. Although I'm everybody else in the world, so. I threatened Kimmy that I would send a whole list of every NPC and make her put them all in the show tags every time. I thought that would be fun.
I love
But before we get any farther, Sam, can you give us your wonderful in-character, in-world recap of events?
I sure can. I think we'll begin with the wrestling match. Diablo was shirtless, scars ablaze, and went full Monty in the morning sun, speaking to Jackie in Spanish. They grappled shoulders. At Diablo's insistence, there were some attempted throws, but Jackie didn't have the grip. Diablo told him to fight like his soul is on the line. Jackie pushed him back and challenged him to fight. Diablo threw him a couple punches. Jackie dodged and then punched back. Diablo just stood there and took the blow right to the breadbasket, taking a knee and conceding the match. They awkwardly hugged it out. The crew then bundled later that morning into a private train cabin to Liverpool. Sarsha made a nest of newspapers and did some research while Sean read the omens, seeing a large cat standing on top of a church hill with bright yellow eyes. It's getting a little bit more wild in the wild space as we near Liverpool, and the power of this place is more apparent. We pulled into the station about 11 a.m. And trekked to a nice hotel that Sarsha found in her research. And then we all rented a truck because truck rental was invented the year before. Sarsha drove the truck out of town and into some low hills towards the tower. We could see it in the distance. There were some lorries and workers up near the tower, so we parked outside the gate, and Sean and Sarsha went to inspect the trench, where it looks like the workers were running some electrical lines. In one spot, there was a big round area, and the dirt seemed more loose there. Sarsha hopped down and dug around a bit, finding that something may have been removed from here by the workers. Meanwhile, Jackie and Diablo were greeted by Mr. Eckersley and asked him about his radio-hating neighbor, Old Man Burton. Eckersley pointed them towards the tower, now rough-hewn logs lashed with leather. One of the laborers looked confused, and suddenly water is coming out of his toolbox. He pulls out a fish. As they near it, Sarsha gets some itchy eyes and recognizes the fish as a not huge pike. The worker says they haven't really had things like this happen before. Definitely feels like a leprechaun to both Sarsha and Sean. They ask Mr. Eckersley about the dug up bit in the trench, and he doesn't know much about it. Diablo tells him a leprechaun will hurt his family if he doesn't fess up. And Jackie convinces him to talk to the workers. They dug up a tree stump, and there is a missing worker, George Lewis. Sean insists to see the tree stump. Mr. Eckersley gets the carpenter to tell us what the tower is made of. It's blackthorn. And then accompanies us down to an old rotting stump down the hill. It's an oak tree stump and a bunch of standard local rocks. Jackie sorts through the rocks and finds one that is perfectly flat on one side and about 2 feet oval in size. Sean checks it out and finds some indentations like this was maybe a functional man-made object at one point. Sarsha wanders off to get distracted by the nearby cows. They're almost all white and not very big. They're a rare breed called Vaesen cattle, not common anymore. She calls out, "Whose cows are these?" while petting one. They don't have any markings. She tries to reason with the leprechaun by babbling a bargain into thin air. The cows then turn and start walking away from her and the tower. The rest of the crew wanders over to help follow the cows as they wander towards a creek. Sarsha wants to steal a cow to piss off the leprechaun into coming out, while Sean suggests they could just put some religious items on the hill and achieve the same. Sarsha places a religious pamphlet on the tower, and then we all headed back to town for supplies and to look for the missing worker. Sarsha makes her way to the ag hall to ask about the cows. They are the local ghost cows, and the locals say that they're just wild cows. It's not much of a cow town here. They graze, and that's that. The tower prank has been the talk of the town. Cow info gathered, she meets the others at the Heart and Bulldog pub. John gets them a table, and the waiter brings them a round of pints and some food. Sarsha and Diablo overhear about a guy who came in 4 or 5 nights ago, bought a couple of rounds for the bar, but he hasn't been back. Diablo hears another guy mention it was George Lucas, so Sean asks the waiter who knows that George lived in the apartments around the corner. They finish their shepherd's pies and head to investigate the apartment, number 332. Finding it unobstructed, they knock, but nothing happens. Sean tries the knob, and the door swings wide open onto a living room with a man attached to the ceiling by nails. He is not alive. Sean uses her crystal ball to search the apartment and turns up a box about 10-inch square with leather bands, overturned next to the bedroom, empty. It's very old and well cared for. Meanwhile, Sarsha is taking some photos, and Diablo checks the body for clues, pulling a single metal coin from his mouth. Jackie notices the coin is silver, worn with a hammered edge, stamped, not English. It looks like a coin that his grandpa had. Sarsha makes out the word king in Gaelic, and it has a man with a scepter. Sean sets up a seance and attempts to contact the departed George Wilson. He floats down out of the body, coughs some coins up, and asks them who, what, and why. It appears he sold some of the coins to Dolly's shop, about 10 of them, went to the pub, was hit in the stomach and the side of the head. He didn't see who it was and is very upset. Sean finds out his final wishes and sends his spirit off for some rest. Diablo pulls George down, which is gross, all caps underlined. The crew debates reporting the death properly or stealing the corpse. Reporting it is. Back to the hotel bar for baths, everyone. Oh, not the bar, just the hotel.
Well, you
I
can
was going to have
certainly.
follow-up questions.
Sometimes when I read fast, other words came up. Anyway.
All right. So you are all back at your hotel for the evening. We will say that Diablo has retired beneath the bed in his usual fashion. And just to figure out, for continuity's sake, your method of reporting poor George Lewis's disposition to the authorities is going to be anonymously, or you're going to make a report and say, hey, we are working for the radio company and he didn't show up for work, so we came to see what was going on.
My suggestion is that we make a phone call to the station and say there's a weird smell coming from the room. And that's it.
Solid.
Okay. If that's
I've
okay with
listened-
everybody, that's the way you do it. No problem.
If that being the case, we went down the back staircase, which doesn't connect to the part where anyone saw us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had that
yeah.
discussion last time. Yes, that you guys
Yeah.
could absolutely go out a different exit of this building and not go past the mailroom clerk.
As we're leaving, I think as they're leaving, Sarsha would definitely turn to the other two and say, can any of us do an English accent?
I mean, I could try. you want me to go for it, or
Why
all
not?
right,
Says he can do it. Let's
I want to
see.
hear this.
He's gonna call the police and be all buongiorno.
no, that'd be French. That's French. All right, let's see if I can do it. What happened was there's a smell, and let's see, it's just really reeking in the hallways, and I think we just need someone to come and check it out, because it's really, I'll pay so much rent and I just can't have it. My wife is all day she's complaining. Yeah, that's the address.
All right.
Right.
It's perfect.
And it is done.
Did it do okay?
I liked the story you told.
Oh, well, I tried.
You really brought the character to life.
Oh, well, thank you. I did my best. It's going to be hard to get back where I was now. So,
John is trying still not to laugh.
Excellent.
thank you kindly.
The
That was
Texas
quite
Texas
something.
Cockney tornado. Good. All right. So you have taken care of that obligation, and nothing links you to the location, so you should be all clear.
Excellent.
Where did you guys have in mind to head next, or do you can have a perfectly reasonable amount of sleep in the hotel. That's because it was a long day of travel and then out to the site and all around and everything else. So unless there's something you all want to do before bed, we can assume it's the next morning.
Yeah, I can't think of any extra. Should we have put something more protective around the tower again? What's the worst that
No.
can happen?
I mean, I kind of feel like Sean definitely feels like they should go back at night to try and interact with the leprechaun, because that's when the shenanigans happened before, and we've probably poked that bear a little bit with the stick of the pamphlet that we left behind.
Yeah. And honestly,
to mix all of my metaphors.
I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight anyway. I mean, I've seen real bad injuries, but that was something else. I ain't never seen a body like that.
It's worth staking out. I think that's actually a good move. To go back and stake out the place.
But showers first, because
showers first.
Yuck.
Right.
You can certainly take time to clean yourself up and have a meal before you head out to the muddy field. That would be fine.
I think we recuperate.
I am rolling a die just to randomize the weather.
Waiting for just a fucking downpour.
No. It's gonna be like cool, a little bit foggy, but not just socked in with fog, right? So beyond 200 yards, you don't really have a lot of visibility, but anything in the near to you can see all right. It's kind of
It does mean we have to get fairly close.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're not going to be able to sit at a huge distance and like have binoculars or something, but
do you think we're going to see combat?
That kind of depends on the angle you take. I can't.
Sean is bringing her weapons, whatever they are, and occult accoutrement, and wearing kind of like what would pass for ladies' hunting attire, like, boots and sturdy clothes situation.
Yeah. Same. Saoirse definitely is going to be warm clothes, but also pack her rifle and take that with her.
I am also happy living in a world where, as women, you're perfectly able to find pants.
Oh, this is 1923. Pants exist.
Yeah.
Yep, pants are happening.
Pants happened.
And that's fine, right? But it's one of those. I don't want to be so stuck on this is a historical game. Clearly, like if you were to wear them to meet the queen, people would be a little aghast, but not to go out in a muddy field.
Let me see. I was gonna say I have a big old Pinterest board of sharpshooters
I have
from
a
1920.
question
Absolutely.
about the moon.
All right.
What kind of moon situation do we have?
All right. Let's do a check here. An interesting question. I think that's the third time in this game that you have come up with a completely unexpected angle, and I like it.
Thanks.
It is a waxing gibbous moon.
Ooh. I like it.
So it is on the way down from a full moon. And yes, there is a random phase of the moon generator on the
Oh,
internet.
I love it. That's fantastic.
You didn't just roll a d12?
No, because I have D6s out right now.
I guess technically the bell curve would be better, right? Because it's
Yeah, I could have done that, but it's fine.
I mean, now we can figure out what day it is. You're just establishing more canon for me.
I'm just trying to see if this moon is of ill tidings or a boon to us.
Well, it is providing enough light. Like it's still big enough in the sky that even through the fog, it's kind of that diffuse, soft night light.
Oh yeah, I meant like metaphysically.
Sure. But in the reality of it, it is actually helpful because there's not street lights out there, or it's a field at night. So whatever light you bring with you is kind of what you've got.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, are we bringing light? I feel like we're gonna over prepare for this situation.
A lantern wouldn't hurt.
yeah. I mean, we can bring a lantern.
Lantern and
your truck has headlights.
it does. Oh, good old fashioned stakeout, just us sitting in a truck. Binocular. Oh shoot! Actually, I think one of the things I think I picked a camera. Oh no! One of the items that I can have as that I have as a writer is either a pair of binoculars or opera glasses. I guess it's binoculars.
I feel like that fits more with your style than opera glasses.
Yeah. So just
Absolutely.
real stakeout shit. If only there was pizza.
I feel like I got the shaft on the equipment because it just says equipment based on sport.
A robe.
So you just have fists?
Yeah, I have boxing gloves and some little shorts probably.
Get some,
Got some
very
trunks.
nice satin shorts and matching satin robe.
Mm-hmm.
And a cowboy hat.
I do have that.
I want the cowboy. So like items apparently like give you benefits to like rolls and shit. We need to figure out what that cowboy hat does. It's just charisma.
I have the famous talent.
That's true.
So I get +2 dice to manipulation. Just put the cowboy hat on. And technically, the cowboy hat should give me 1 more die because it is an item.
And I would agree with that because if you're a unique person, it's much easier to be noticed and people want to talk to you and find out your story. So,
yeah.
All right. I love this. I also love that you're not famous without the hat on.
Yeah, he wears this to blend in.
And that's the thing about the way items work in this game is if you have something that you think would apply in some situation and you can give me really any narrative reason, I am super happy to go along with that, right? As long as it makes sense. If you're like, I'm going to use my cowboy hat to throw like Odd Job in James Bond and
no Odd Job.
Take somebody out with it, then I'm going to be like, no, that's not a thing. But as a way to like be socially interesting and cause people to want to talk to you, absolutely,
yeah.
Cool.
All right.
So you guys are prepared to go out for your stakeout.
Mm-hmm.
Diablo is going to stay in because I think he's going to go watch and make sure that they take care of poor George Lewis.
Awesome.
Makes sense.
Reasonable.
So you guys can head on out to the field. But you drive on out. You get out there, and the workers have all gone home. There's nobody out there, except one. There seems to be one car that is parked out there. And you can see there's one guy that has kind of like walking the perimeter of the land and kind of keeping an eye out. But he looks a lot like the gravedigger from Disney's Haunted Mansion ride, right? He's that guy with the lantern, and he's just kind of walking along looking. But they obviously hired somebody to kind of keep an eye.
Wait for the NPC to pass and head up the hill, I guess.
Should we start by checking the religious paraphernalia we left?
I will admit, I don't think that the pamphlet is going to do anything. It's worth trying. Yeah. Saoirse will hop out of the car and start walking towards wherever we left, like towards the tower. This is a dumb idea.
Okay.
What's a dumb idea?
We're not letting you go alone.
Yeah.
Nah, we're coming with you.
Are you trying to sneak up there so that this security man doesn't notice you, or are you lighting your lantern and walking up there as a group? And
I mean, we have a right to be here.
I vote sneak.
I'm not saying you don't.
Now, I'm just thinking out loud. I think we can check in with the security man.
Mm-hmm. Let him know we're here.
Right.
Fair enough.
So you wait until he kind of gets down near the gate where you've parked, and he comes out the gate when he sees the truck, and he kind of walks up and, what are you doing out here? This is private property now.
What? Howdy. We're actually contractors for the radio station. We're here to figure out what's been going on with the tower and all the weirdness around. We figured we'd come at night and see if we can't find any extra clues or catch someone, performing malcontented deeds.
Oh, yes. I'm on the lookout for anyone doing the same. And he like peers into the back of your truck to see if you have a whole bunch of wooden staves. Or what, like, he was told to make sure no one builds another wooden tower. So he's like leering into the back of the truck. Sees that
Are we all just crammed into the cab, the three of us?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Probably,
nighttime.
yeah.
It's chilly.
Yeah.
And it's a fairly big kind of open space. I mean, all four of you crammed in there. Oh no, you had two people in the back last time.
No, the two of us rode in the back last
That's
time.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you could fit three up front. That's not an issue. And he kind of nods and he goes, "Well, I'm hustling down the like he points and he's like, I live just over there. So the man from the tower here, he came by and he decided to pay me to come by and check the place a couple of times a night. So if you see any trouble, you can just over that rise, you'll see my house." And he kind of wanders over to his car and hops in, drives off.
Well,
Can I observe him for any
Absolutely.
oddities about his behavior?
Sure.
Anything that seems supernatural or lying?
Sure. So observation and empathy.
Okay. Just want to make sure this watchman is who he says he is. I got, it's a lot of 3s and 4s. 1 success.
Okay. He seems pretty authentic. It makes sense that he's nearby and would drive over and check out the place. No, you don't really. He doesn't seem like he's not spinning a big tale or anything.
Okay.
And you don't get any feeling of the supernatural around him, right? He's not. He's not eerily looking out into the distance or or
Not a
doing anything
leprechaun in
unusual.
disguise.
No, he does not at all resemble a leprechaun. He looks like a very stereotypical, uh, you know, British retiree, right? Like just an old guy that lives out in his house and doesn't really want to be bothered, but oh, for a couple extra shillings, he'll drive down the hill and look at this place a couple times through the night. Give him
Fair
money for
enough.
going down the pub.
So first things first, we're going to look at the tower and then find a place to stake it out.
Sounds about right.
So you guys head up the hill. You get behind the building there, and there's the tower that they finished taking all the wood down, and they have the first 2 levels put back up with metal pieces. And they've put all of the tools and stuff into one of the trucks and chained the back shut now, so it's not open, and it looks secure to you. The one unusual thing when you get up to the top of the hill here is there is, right behind the building, there's a whole row of boots. Just pairs of boots lined up. Like a bunch of people are in the building and they took off their shoes to be polite. Right? But they're all just lined up right outside against the building.
Is there any light on in the building?
Nope.
Hey, Saoirse. Are leprechauns cobblers?
Yes, almost exclusively. Well, no, yeah, not exclusively. Yes, that's the lore. That's the story. Little cobbler men who are not terribly nice.
All right.
That would explain the nails earlier as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's distressing, right? We're all seeing that, correct?
Right. I mean, I'm seeing it. Y'all don't think this is a bribe, right? Like, well, I'm gonna go look. Do they look like new boots or are they old boots?
Do you pick up any of the boots, or do you just look upon them?
I mean, I think I'd go to pick them up unless somebody stops me.
I think Sean would stop you
Yeah, I think
Oh,
both.
sure.
Yeah, both Sean
very
and Saoirse.
quietly. No touching the boots.
Oh, right. All
That's
right.
a terrible idea. Don't
Oh.
touch things.
Okay.
But you get over near the boots and you look at them with the lantern, right? And they look pristine, right? They have just, no person has ever put their feet in these, even if they had just bathed.
Them's
These are
new
brand
boots.
new. And as you're close with all of them, I'll give you a freebie. There looks like there's enough for everybody that was out here working.
I think these are bribes.
From the leprechaun.
Right. Like, get the hell out of here. Take the boots and go.
They could be cursed.
Oh, right. They could be traps, right? Put them on, can't
Traps.
stop walking or something. I don't know. What do leprechauns' curses work like?
I don't know. I've never tried.
Well,
I
I
spent a
ain't
lot of
putting
time
them on, I
actively
guess.
avoiding them.
Right.
At any rate, don't take the boots.
Oh, well, if there's a way, is there a way you can discern what they do with the crystal bowl or something?
Oh, right.
Sniff really hard.
Could give it a try.
You could do an observation on them.
Sure.
I sure am glad for y'all because
Why
I
not?
normally just punch my problems and this seems tricky.
There may be a time for that.
There's a time for punching your problems, and there's a time for hexing your problems. Whoops. Well, that went somewhere else. Two successes.
All right.
I just like the picture of her like awkwardly looking at, trying to like get the moon to shine through the crystal ball to look at the boots.
Yeah.
What we need is a stone with a hole in it.
Yeah.
So with your first success, I will give you that these don't seem to be, they don't seem to have a feeling of bad magic.
Okay.
They definitely seem like there's something unusual about them. But I would not in any way call what you feel a curse.
Probably not cursed. I like it.
And they with your second success, I will give you that they smell just like the cows you met.
Ah. Okay.
Like it's sort of a, you know, a
Whoops.
natural warmth to them, you know,
Mhm.
that kind of a, like, oh, they were kind of cuddly creatures, and that sort of essence is still there.
Well,
I
now
will
I'm just
also give you
sad.
for free. No, I will also give you for free.
I know.
You do see some of the cow. You still see cows out there in the field. The cows have not
Cows
all
still
been.
exist.
Yes, the cows were not transformed into boots, or. But it appears to be that there is some essence of those cows in these boots.
Ah.
It
Well,
seems so friendly.
they're definitely not outright cursed. There'd be a lot more malicious vibes coming off of them. So they might be safe for the workers. I still don't think we should touch them. They're probably not for us. Also, they do bear a distinct resemblance aromatically to your favorite cows, which are still quite alive over there. See them?
Thank you.
So
Thank you for-
lends credence to the whole "these are the leprechauns' cows" theory.
So we think that he's trying to bribe them, the workers, to leave.
I would guess so.
Could just
Or
start a
maybe
union.
trying to get them to return what belongs to him.
I think that that ship has sailed, unless we can find all the coins that that one man stole.
I think we can. We do have the name of the gentleman he sold them to,
That's true.
who hopefully we could track down in a less grisly state
Okay.
than our friend George. Did we? Oh, out of character question. Did we take those 1 coins that the guy coughed up, and do we have them with us?
I feel like we
you
would
took the
have.
coin.
Yeah.
Whether you brought it with you right now, that's up to you all.
Let's do the dumb. I think we took the coin with us.
Yeah, I think we took it.
Yeah.
Like I think it's here with us.
I think Jackie would probably still have it, right? Because I was the one who figured it out.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
Yeah,
you also take that big flat stone with you,
Oh, we found the stone, didn't we?
or did
Well,
we leave it
We
here?
found a box.
We found a box, but I didn't grab that.
Oh, the
Ooh, we
flat
should get
stone
the
you
box.
found out here, nobody took.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You left
No,
that
the
out.
flat stones, but the box that was
Okay.
in the in George's home, we should probably have taken.
I thought
And
you did.
Leprechaun
You
knows
did
where
it?
the box is.
Oh, he'll find it. He can collect.
I think the important thing is the coin here. I think we should leave a bribe since we have 1 coin.
Right.
I don't think you can bribe someone with their own property. But yes,
Why
I
not?
think the return of safe return of coin.
What
Okay.
if what if we set
Garner
up
a
his
little
little
bit of goodwill.
what if we set up his little stone table and put the coin on it? Like, here you
Mhm.
go. Maybe you just put your house over here, Mr. Man.
I think that's a great idea.
Sure.
Could do that.
I'm waiting for us to get killed.
I ain't planning on getting killed tonight, so
Well, let's set up the table and then we can retreat to the truck and watch.
Good
Or
plan.
as close as we can get. Or as far as we can get, and also as close.
All right.
Well, if I remember, the hole that it seemed the stone came out of was back down the hill a bit in the trench towards the truck.
right.
It was in the widened area.
Mm-hmm.
So you can hustle down the hill again and straighten the stone table and place the coin on it and head back down to your truck. That's no problem.
Our own
right.
little leprechaun trap.
I mean, I don't know how much of a trap it is
The
as much
box
as
with a stick and a string.
it's like bait, but we didn't put the trap in. We need it's missing the snare aspect.
Saoirse adjusts the rifle over her shoulder.
Oh, right. Never mind. Okay.
So you guys get into the truck, turn off your lantern, and settle in for a while.
Can I sit on top of the truck with the binoculars? Or not like on top of, but like behind the, you know what I'm talking about? Like
You want to
Stand in
stand
the bed,
behind
leaning
the
over the
cab
top?
of the truck?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. Now, are you particularly already aiming your rifle, or are you just looking?
I think it's loaded and ready, but I'm not here to shoot a leprechaun.
Okay.
I feel like we're going to try to willingly accept its surrender first. What do we think?
Okay.
Bargain first, shoot second.
Bargain first, shoot second. How about this? We watch for the leprechaun. When we find the leper, if he's, you can approach him and I will stay back with the rifle. And if something goes wrong, we shoot the leprechaun.
Only if it goes wrong.
Sure.
Only if it goes wrong.
In my experience, if someone's got a rifle pointed at a location, you don't want to walk into that location. But
I'm looking at my stats. I'm an okay shot.
so
Even
as
more
I
of a
said,
reason.
I'm not a well then run.
right. I mean,
I should be a decent enough
Saoirse,
shot.
Can you do any bird calls? Give
No.
us the wee signal before you shoot.
I'll make a bird call and you will know it's a bird call from me.
oh my god! I hope it's like a caw of a crow or something.
Yes, that's exactly what
Yeah.
A horrible screech.
it's whatever
The
comes
sound
out of my
a
mouth.
duck to tell us to duck.
You'll hear a sound and you'll duck. I
It's
assume.
the actual line from The Crow, like the caw, caw, bang, fuck, I'm dead.
You just hear quack.
I'm totally
I
gonna
think-
make you roll for your bird call if you do one, because
It's
then you're gonna get a
too
bunch of
good.
successes, and it's gonna be like, it's gonna be a perfect loon like in the background, like of every nature scene in every Hollywood movie.
I'm gonna panic and use whatever bird call comes out of my mouth, which is either gonna be a crow or a peacock. So enjoy that. But yes, that is my proposed plan. Is you can engage as you are willing to engage with that.
So, watching closely with the binoculars, you will see, coming around the hill, you do see, short human kind of comes around the corner of the hill, walks over to the trench, follows it down to the spot where you left the table and the coin. He hops down in the hole and you lose sight. And then he hops out of the hole and like looks around. Like you can see him like peering out. But when he's peering out, like you notice if you watched the Netflix show that was out this summer with the with the fishing island and the angel and the whole thing.
OA?
The
Oh.
Mike Flanagan show.
Fuck, what's it called?
I know
Oh
the
my
one. My
gosh.
brain can't remember the name of it.
Oh, for
The
crying out
church
loud.
one.
Midnight
Yes, yeah.
Mass.
Midnight Mass.
So you know how in
It's in
Midnight
there somewhere.
Mass, did you guys watch that or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Parts.
Okay. Well, at certain points, certain characters get it almost looks like a reflection of the back of their eye when they're looking out, so you can actually sort of see eyes flash, right? Even if there's
Mhm.
not a light source aimed at them, right? They kind of generate it on their own. That's what you see when you see him peering out down towards where you guys are.
I
in the
feel
truck.
so vindicated. I understand that we already accepted this was a leprechaun, but I feel very vindicated right now.
Uh,
You just hear from behind the cap, it's a fucking leprechaun.
And when he climbs out of the hole, you see him, and like he kind of pulls himself up, and then he reaches around his back, and he pulls out a cane and kind of starts walking down towards you.
Does it look like he saw us?
I mean, he's walking pretty much right towards you.
We may have
Okay.
we should have chosen to hide better.
I'm gonna get out of the truck.
Okay, so you open the door, and he's still kind of coming down the hill.
Mm-hmm. I think I'll just lean on the front of the truck.
No,
Okay.
you want to get farther away.
From the truck?
Rifle.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I won't stand directly where the rifle's pointed. But I'll stand
Yeah.
off to the side, I guess.
I think
Talk loud.
Sean would, like an idiot, run, like walk out as if to welcome a guest
Oh, okay.
a little
Alright.
bit away from the truck to give some more shooting range, but also like bridge the distance. Like, oh, I see you're coming to talk.
Do you say anything, or is it just a body language like, hello?
Having spent some time in high society, I think she gives kind of a subtle, like, nod of respect, like, a little bit of a bow, to like, as if you were greeting somebody who had a little bit of a higher station than you.
Okay, all right. And you see he like stops, like he's just gotten to where the gate is, right? He's just on the other side of the gate, and he kind of stops and he peers between the slats of the gate and kind of gets a squinty-eyed look, and then he hops up on top of the gate, just like the way it looked like he was walking around and then coming down with his little cane. You didn't like, you thought that he was not nearly as nimble as he is, but he goes from standing still next to a gate fence, hops up on top of it, and just balances there like a cat, not with 4 limbs, but just on his 2. And he hops up on the gate, and he kind of returns the nod. He goes, I didn't expect to see anyone out here that could see me.
Oh, I bet you don't find many that can. Good evening to you. Is it all right if we have a little chat?
Oh, well, I haven't had a chat with anyone in a long time. Were you the ones that brought back me coin?
We did find it and figure it was best returned to you.
Oh, polite and smart. I like you already.
Well, thank you very much. Is there something that we could call you?
Oh, I used a lot of names in my time, but I suppose over here on this island, maybe I should get a local name. You can call me Smith.
Smith.
That's a name I've heard around here.
Indeed it is. It's well met, Smith. My friends and I were sent here to kind of see what's going on with the tower. It's
Oh, you're with that abomination on my land.
we
He
haven't
kind of
come to build it. We've come to investigate it. And it seems to be disturbing your land.
yes. Look at my cows. They're in a tizzy. And the
They
cow,
do
like
seem to
one
be
cow
in.
lifts up its head, kind of goes,
Meh.
puts its head back down and keeps munching.
That is quite a conundrum. So is it just this hill particularly here? If these folks trying to build the tower were to put it somewhere else, would you be all right with that?
Well, I can't say I have any never mind to who lives everywhere else, but it wouldn't bother me any if they weren't building on my land.
Fair enough. Is there anything they could do to compensate you for putting it on your land?
Ooh. Well, hmm. I suppose I haven't had any help in me work in quite some time. If
Well,
someone's willing to maybe learn me arts, be an apprentice, then I could work out an arrangement. As long as they
that
don't
isn't it.
keep bothering me cows.
Oh, of course not. We wouldn't want anybody to bother the cows. The cows are lovely, by the way.
Oh, they are. They're very sweet.
Fine cattle.
Ooh, you're
Well,
not from
those are.
around here.
No. Forgive me. And he tips his hat.
Well, I can't say I've ever, but yes, I could take someone on as an apprentice, and then with some help, that would maybe compensate for the use of me land. Now, this tower is not going to do anything to me cows, right?
Oh no. It just. Have you ever heard of a radio?
Oh, I don't know
No,
what
it's
that is.
it's like a device folks use to carry their voices farther.
Oh, like
So
hello.
kind of like that, yeah.
Oh, I
Um,
see.
so that's all it does. It stands there, and you won't hear it, of course. But
Well, then what good
it'll.
is it?
You have to have a special device to receive the voice, you see.
Oh, do you think they'd give me one of those?
You think that'd be a
Well,
suitable trade for putting it on your land?
Well, what does this voice have to say? Is it interesting? Is it
Oh, all kinds of things.
is it a smart person gonna tell me things so I can learn?
it's more
So
than one person. They have different
Oh,
different programs where different people talk about all kinds of things. You could learn a lot
they tell
from the radio.
stories.
oh, they tell stories, do they?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Well, I'd listen to stories. Yes, yes. I'd
All
take
right
one of
then.
those. One of those and an apprentice. I think that's a fair trade.
Tell me now, what sort of term would an apprentice normally have to work with you? Like how many years?
Well, that depends a little bit on how smart they are, how well they are at picking up the craft. But me last apprentice, probably. Oh, let's see. When was it that I came over? Not more than 60 years.
Oh, see, I think that might be a problem for most folk. See, we don't live that long and by the time they's done with their apprenticeship, the all their family be gone.
Well, that may be true, but I could see about compensation for a good apprentice. You know,
Well, it's
there's
certainly
someone
a
that needs a
worthwhile
good
offer.
trade. And then when they're done with their time, once they've mastered the craft, they get to go. I'm not a cruel master. Not going to make anyone stay longer than it takes for them to learn.
Well, Mr.
And
Smith, I think we've got some good options to put forth to the tower folk so that they're not just crashing on your land and upsetting your cows, and you can have a nice equilibrium. Would it be all right if we come back to visit you again after we've had a chance to chat with them?
oh, certainly, certainly. Now, I see you brought back one of these coins. Are you holding out? Do you have the rest of them?
We sadly do not. We would prefer to return them all to you at once, but we do have a plan to take a look and see if we can find some more. And if we do, then we'll bring those back to you as well.
Well, all right. Come back tomorrow if you've got any answers from these tower folk and their magic speaking devices. We'll talk. And if you bring me coins, I might be more favorable. And then
We'll do our best.
he kind of turns around, like he just kind of turns his body away from you for a second, and then he turns back, and he goes, "And please, if you're gonna come up here, wear something better. Don't till up the land with those ugly shoes." And he's holding 3 pairs of shoes. And he kind of holds them out. "Please, please. You've been kind enough to return my coin."
Sean will walk over and take a pair of boots from the leprechaun and thank him.
And they all look the same when you reach for them. But once you've picked them, you can decide what they look like.
Ooh.
But that's
Very
not a
nice.
continuing power of the shoes. It's once you've decided on something. If you decide you want a pair of, going out and about boots, that's what you've got. If you decide
Okay.
that you'd rather have a pair of palace slippers, that's what you've got. If you decide that you want,
Got it.
a fancy pair of heels to go to a ball or something, that's what you get.
So I think Sean picks them up and they turn into like a fancy kind of squared off pointy toed witch boot.
All right. And he goes, "Ooh, I like those."
Oh, thank you. I do too. Very nice. Fine craftsmanship.
I'll go over and fetch my shoes.
Okay.
He pulls back black cowboy boots.
All right. He goes, "Oh, I don't think I've ever seen shoes quite like that.
Oh,
They're very
they're hard.
tall.
They're hard to get around here.
Quite a
Thank
heel
you.
on them, too. I like it. I bet you could dance a pair like that."
I squint at him. Now, if I put these on, I ain't gonna have to dance, am I?
No, of course not.
Oh, all right then.
I mean, look, if you're going to put on shoes like that with a big heel and made out of slick on the bottom, you're going to want to move. That's what I'm saying.
I understand.
And he kind of holds these out to Saoirse, like, "Yeah, you want these too?" And he
From
moves
behind
like
the truck.
yeah, he sees you. He clearly knows you're
Damn.
there. Unless you want to try and be extra stealthy.
I don't think I could be more stealthy than that.
I mean, by being extra stealthy, I mean engaging with a stealth mechanic roll.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Okay.
That is not a thing I do.
Cool. So he's like, and then he's like, oh, don't worry, I can bring them over, and he hops down off the fence and kind of shuffles over. And in the close light near you all, his little cane is this gnarled, twisted Gandalf staff looking root. And he's got the shoes he's wearing are very classic, like black shiny patent leather shoes with a big gold buckle. And in the middle there's an array of some kind of sparkling gemstones on each one.
Ooh.
And he kind of shuffles over and he holds them up towards the truck.
No, thank you.
Well, now that he's closer, you should probably make a roll.
Yeah.
So a
Just the
physique
two?
roll.
Just a flat physique.
Yeah.
0 successes. 2 5s though.
Oh, all right. So he gets over close to you, and you can describe to me exactly how your allergy kicks in.
You know those people who have to sneeze like 6 times in a row, just every time they sneeze? Yeah, you just get a series of like 5 or 6 of them in a row. And then she just like looks up and is just crying.
Oh no.
Like, oh my.
Me.
And he sets the shoes like on the edge of the bed of the truck, and then he reaches in his pocket and he pulls out a handkerchief and waves it up.
And I'm okay. And she fishes one out of her pocket and starts.
Oh, all right then. He puts it away.
Using that handkerchief would be like rubbing her face in cat dander, basically.
Yes.
So no
for
bad
sure.
idea. So just is completely.
He turns
completely
around
red.
And he kind of makes eye contact with Sean and Jackie, and he goes, he kind of gives you a weird look, and then he goes, she's an emotional one, isn't she? Doesn't get many gifts.
I don't
true.
want a gift. I'm allergic.
That poor woman. Oh. And he kind of walks off a little bit, and things
Just
get
another
better. Yeah.
Just another burst of sneezes though.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Now, I'll be here tomorrow night. I might go on a search for the rest of my coins myself.
Could you
Fair
not
enough.
kill anyone in the process?
No? Are you saying that there's someone else out there that's guilty of stealing from me?
Why is the
I
Why
think
is
you
the
got the
punishment
responsible
for-
culprit.
stealing going to be killing? Just a gross snort.
Well, he came and he took me property.
Again, I think the punishment would fit the crime.
Oh, so you're one of those new people. You think that maybe I should have gone out here and built a whole jail, put him in there and fed him meals. That's not what
You
I'm
could
going to
have
do.
taken something in return.
I did. But rest assured, if he passed those coins off in good faith to someone else, they won't be guilty. As long as they give them back. When a rightful owner comes calling.
As they should. Well, good luck in your search. We'll see you tomorrow, and if we find any of your coins, we'll bring them back to you.
All right. Good luck negotiating with these tower people. They're not a very funny sort, I have to say.
No, they're pretty serious, unfortunately.
And
Don't really get jokes.
you wouldn't believe what I found out here. And he reaches in his pocket and he pulls out the pamphlet that you guys left. And he goes, someone's leaving this trash all over. Terrible.
Who would do such a thing?
He throws the pamphlet onto your truck. And he goes, if you could take that away, I'd appreciate it.
Saoirse just pockets it.
We'd be pleased to.
And then he kind of leans back and he calls over the wall. He goes, all right, we're gonna move out. And then he kind of waves over his shoulder and like does a little like not quite Dorothy from Wizard of Oz click the heels thing, but he clicks his heels once and then just kind of does a leap up over the wall. And as he's passing over the wall, he kind of just disintegrates into a dust.
That's cool.
That's going to get my eyes if I'm on it later.
John looks impressed and just like, well, that looks like a useful skill.
We're not really going to give him a person, are we?
Oh,
Not an unwilling person.
no, yeah. Right. That wouldn't be right. I couldn't in good conscience just hand someone over. Now, if we find someone who is interested in that kind of work, I'm sure, I guess, but I'm hoping
a lifetime as an apprentice to a leprechaun.
There's worse jobs.
You're not wrong, but it doesn't seem like a good idea. Period.
no.
Well,
I mean, I'm hoping that if we find the rest of his coins, he'll be happy with a radio's trade.
Maybe 2 radios.
Sure.
And Cersei's like puffy, just that horrible like post.
You gonna be all right?
Mm-hmm. It just takes some time.
All right. Well,
maybe a little distance should we get going.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
She just looks sad now. I'm not taking the shoes. I cannot believe you accepted something. You're not supposed to take gifts.
I mean, they was real nice boots.
And it's a real nice coin.
Yeah, but he offered this.
And we offered him the coin.
Right. Fair trade. I think that's how it works, ain't it?
The trade is for the tower.
Well, that's what the
No, the radio and the apprentice is for the tower. The
Right.
coins are for friendship and boots.
right. And do you know how hard it is to find boots like this over here?
Saoirse just sits in the back of the truck, like with the boots as far away from her as she can without them falling out. Let's just go.
And once we get kind of back to town, about what time is it when we get back to town?
It's probably like 10:30 or 11, right?
Okay,
You,
so it's not crazy late.
No, because you just went out there and did a little bit of investigating and had a conversation. You didn't loiter for hours.
Yeah. It has been a bit of a long day, but if our new friend is going out looking for his coins, we might want to pay a visit to Dolly's shop. Just see if we can get ahead of him.
Sure. If
Have
he's still open.
One fewer corpse on our hands.
Absolutely. Although I think that I think Smith will be perturbed to see us there.
At Dolly's.
Perhaps.
I mean, we told him we was going to look for the rest of the coins.
That's true. Let's go.
He
So
didn't
to
seem like
Dolly's?
he knew where to look for the rest of the coins.
I
Right.
don't know how they keep track of those things.
Maybe he just clicks his heels and knows. He hadn't decided to yet.
Let's get to Dolly's.
Hopefully before Smith does.
All right. I'll book it over to Dolly's.
Okay. So at this hour of the night.
Mm-hmm. It's
All right.
you said it's like 8:30, right?
No.
No,
No, 11.
What'd you
It's
say?
like
10:30 or
11.
10:30 or 11. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he lives in his shop.
Only one way to
Maybe
find
too
out.
late.
All right, let's go try it out.
So you drive into town. Did anybody put on the shoes?
Ooh,
Hell no.
Unless someone
No.
stops me, I think I put on the shoes.
I think I mean, Saoirse has already made her case, which is you don't trade with them. You don't take gifts ever.
I mean, they're real nice boots.
It's a bad idea.
All right. I mean, I've
Out of
had
character, I don't want you to not do the thing. I definitely want you to just have fun and fucking do the dumb thing. But
I
in
think,
character.
yeah. I think Jackie's like, what could go wrong? And he puts on the boots.
All right. So you put on the boots, and I cannot express how comfortable these shoes are. Right?
Oh,
God damn
You
it.
put them on. It is like someone made the
Whew.
inside out of butter. Right? Like you put your foot in there. It's like he knew exactly what size your foot was. The contours of the inside follow. I'm not going to go too much farther. It's going to turn into a Tarantino movie, but you know, it's the best shoe you've ever had on your foot
oh,
by far.
Saoirse, you have to put these shoes on.
Over my dead body.
I mean, oh, you are missing out.
Saoirse looks at her own shoe, like the shoes she's wearing, which are a little very, very worn. Like the same shoes she's had for like 5-10 years now. Like, no.
I don't know. This is the most comfortable I have been in years.
That's because they're cursed. Try to
They're
take
not
one off.
cursed. Maybe they're blessed. Who knows?
Take one off right
Take-
now.
Take one off.
The shoe, take it off right now.
All right, I'll try to take off a shoe.
You take off the shoe.
Damn it.
See,
Your
look,
foot is chilly.
put my boots. Are you done?
There's something wrong with it. I know it.
I think you're biased against leprechauns.
Of course I'm biased against leprechauns.
Now, I didn't grow up with the same stories as y'all, but I tell you, you find a pair of boots this comfortable, I don't care who gave them to you, you're gonna wear them.
You're not wrong.
Does have a point. Shall we check and see that Mr. Dolly, I'm assuming is his name, has not been murdered?
Let's go. Let's see about him.
So-
Muttering as you guys leave.
You guys drive back into town. It takes you a little while to find Dolly's, but you do. And you pull up in front of this shop, and it's clearly a mix between what in the future would be called a five and dime and a pawn shop, right? So it's got a wide variety of things in the doorway, but in the window, excuse me, not in the doorway. But the sign out front is Dolly's, and it's written in like a flowing script, right? The place looks surprisingly classy from the outside for a place that works like a pawn shop. And you know, through the window you can see that there's some nice looking furniture in there and various art pieces, all kinds of stuff is inside. But across the outside of the windows, there's like one of those pull across sort of security fences that's locked.
Is
there
it
a-
one story, or is there rooms above?
Let me see. Kurt, high or low?
Hi.
Okay.
Second story.
There is a second story above.
Is there a bell?
Yeah, of
Like
course
a-
there would be. Yeah, one of those
Just
like
try the
round
door.
brass ones with a black
yeah.
bake-like button in the middle. So,
I'll mash the bell 2 times.
and it does that like like angry buzzer noise. And you see some lights come on upstairs.
Can I have
And
grabbed
then-
my hat? I forgot to get my cowboy hat. I don't have it with me, but he wears his cowboy hat for this.
Okay. So the lights come on upstairs, and then a couple of seconds later, one of the second floor windows like slides up, and this head pops out, looks down at you, and this lady is wearing the full like the night hair bag, like for lack of a better term, right? Like the curler bag, so she's got that whole thing on, and she's got a house coat, and she's leaning out the window and goes, "We're all closed tonight."
Well, howdy, ma'am. I sure do apologize for bothering you so late, but we have a bit of an urgent matter. Is Dolly in?
Well, yeah, I'm right here.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. As I understand it, a felon. Oh shoot. What was the deceased gentleman's name?
George Lewis.
Lewis.
As I understand it, a George Lewis made a sale to you recently.
I don't remember, but maybe.
It would have been a few silver coins.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Now, answer me one question. Are you a superstitious woman, ma'am?
What is this about?
Well, it seems that our friend George has met an ill fate.
Well, he didn't strike me as too bright.
That is true.
Probably went off and spouting he had all this money now and got himself left in an alleyway or something, eh?
Something a little more sinister
Sorry,
than
I
that.
slipped back into
fear.
leprechaun-y voice.
Something a little more sinister than that, I fear. It seems that those coins weren't his to begin with. He didn't find them.
You're with the
right
Rosers,
manner.
eh?
Are we just
No.
having this conversation on the street?
Could we
Yeah.
come in?
Well, I'll come
I know
down.
it's late, but
You have your ID ready.
all right.
Just leans back in and slams the window shut. And then you hear some angry thumping footsteps.
Do we have an ID?
I mean, I have my personal ID. We're not authority figures.
We're not.
I'm just warning her that someone's coming for them coins, and I'd be happy to take them off her hands before, I'd rather they try to hurt us than her.
And
It's not gonna
Question.
go well.
Random question. Did our butler at the house, do we have any sort of cards for the Rose Society or for the house itself?
no.
Okay.
The society in general tries to keep a low profile.
Gotcha.
So you're not issued like the kind of IDs that you'd just be flashing around town or anything.
Okay.
But a few seconds later, more lights come on downstairs, and then the door, you hear the chain lock, and then the deadbolt, and then a second deadbolt, and one of those foot locks at the bottom come up, and then the door cracks open, and you see Dolly standing there, and she's got a shotgun.
Whoa.
Like an over-under, right? She's not aiming it directly at you, but she's got it in that like down ready position.
Now, ma'am, I apologize if I have scared you, but we are not here to rob you.
Well, people come around looking for silver coins in the middle of the night. Sir, isn't a normal thing.
If we were robbers, we'd have asked. Or we would not have asked. We would have just broken in, wouldn't we?
Sean will step forward and hand her my personal card and go, "Ma'am, we are not your common robbers. We are here to help you from a fate which you may not want to endure. The man we spoke of that you saw died a most grisly death, and we just want to prevent that from happening to anyone else. We fear you may be next."
Okay. Why don't you do empathy manipulation?
Okay.
Could I have helped at all?
All right.
Absolutely. How are you going to help? Like
I already asked her if she's superstitious.
you
so I
did.
laid the
That's
groundwork.
true. Okay. All right. That's fine. So a bonus die. That's cool.
Okay. So that's okay. That one. Whoop. Get back here. 1 success.
Okay. So she's kind of like, she reaches out and takes your card and lowers the shotgun, right? And she kind of cracks open the door and she goes, "Now, are you saying that there's like he stole these from someone else and that someone doesn't appear to be a law-fearing sort of citizen?"
That would be correct.
Indeed.
She kind of reaches over, pulls a key out on a long chain around her neck and undoes the lock on the slidey across thing in front of the door. Slides it open. She goes, "Well, come on in, come on in. Let's not stand out here on the street if there's likely to be grisly assassins on the look." And assuming you guys go inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you step on in and she slides the gate shut. She doesn't lock the gate part, but she slides it so it looks at least like it's closed still. She closes the door and she does do up the bolts. And then she turns around to you all and she goes, "Well, come on back and let me look at my ledger." And she gets in the back and pulls out this big book, unfolds it on the countertop. And she kind of goes up the list and flips the page a couple of times, and then she gets to this one, and there's a clear signature for George Lewis and a thumbprint and all that kind of stuff. And she goes, "Well, I paid him out for those coins. You think there's a reward if I return them?"
Oh no.
The reward would be your life, I'm afraid, madam. Keeping it, as it were.
How much did you pay for him?
45 pounds.
Ooh.
I'll reach into my pocket and I've got 10 pounds that I won from that fight. And I'll flip. Or are pounds coins or are they fold? Does our money jiggle or does it fold?
I think they're coins.
Okay, so I'll pull out.
1 and 2
my,
jiggle.
Yeah, I'll pull out my my 10 pounds and I'll say I'll sort of like count it in my hand. Now, like I said, we are not trying to rob you, and we're not necessarily obligated to purchase these coins from you, but I can't just walk away without giving you something. This is all I've got on me. Would you consider it? And I set the 10 pounds on the counter.
She kind of looks at the 10 pounds and she looks at all of you, and you feel like she's trying to suss you out a little bit, but after a couple seconds, she kind of reaches across and she grabs the 10 pounds and scrapes it, into her other hand off the countertop, and then reaches over and puts it in a little bucket under the counter. She goes, "All right, as long as you're going to take these out of here and there's not going to be any trouble."
Nope.
All right.
There shouldn't be.
She turns around and she lifts up. It's like one of those velvet lined boxes, right? Like the leather outside, and then she sets it on the counter and opens it up, and it's got little square compartments all inside. And she reaches over and she scoops into this one of the squares, and she pulls out these 9 silver coins. And she puts them on the counter and she goes, that's what I paid him for. You know, these are very rare to find in this good a condition.
And
I
that's
already
why
had
I
some
want to bring it
calls.
back.
The ghost told us he sold her 10.
We have one that we returned.
It was in his mouth. How could he have sold it to her if it was in his mouth?
I assume the leprechaun. Oh, fuck. Is that everything?
Well, that's all I've got.
Did you sell any to anyone else, perhaps, in the interim between the gentleman being here and when we arrived?
Well, I sent one off to be verified.
Where did that go off to?
Well, there's this is going to sound very pretentious, but his shop he calls the Royalty Mint. It's up in Manchester,
Manchester.
which is not super far from here, but it's a bigger town.
All right.
And he collects all sorts of rare old coins. So I sent one off to him to tell me if I'd bought a lemon or not.
And was he intending to send it back to you?
Well, or maybe buy it. We hadn't figured that out yet.
Could you do us a favor? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Could you? Are phones common, or would it be a telegram?
You can. I mean, there's telegrams, but there's phones. Like
Okay.
that's not. Maybe not every house, and
Right.
some neighborhoods probably have like the party line going.
Could you pass us his information and also contact him and let him know that one of your associates are going to come and collect it for you?
Okay. Well, I could call him in the morning. I don't have anything but his shop phone number.
All right. I mean, we'll head up there first thing. I'd hate for him to be in any kind of trouble as well.
Now, are there going to be other people come around looking for this at my shop?
No, not if the coins are gone.
All right. Well, then why would he, how would anybody know they sent off to Manchester? I mean, come on.
That's...
We're just trying to be extra cautious given the terribly graphic and grisly, and I cannot impress upon you enough, very disturbing manner in which Mr. George Willis met his demise.
All right. I'll call first thing in the morning. But
I think that would be best.
Probably the best I can do.
If anybody does come looking, especially a short fella, you tell him the guy in the black cowboy boots, and I'll tip out my toe, already came and collected them.
All right. Okay. I can do that.
That should keep you out of anybody's attentions.
All right. I can do that. And I'll call first thing in the morning up to the Royalty Mint.
I appreciate it.
Let them know that deal's off, and we'll have someone pick up the coin.
We appreciate your time and cooperation, and are just glad that we could get here and keep you safe.
I suppose I'm glad too. You all, I'm having a real, I'm trying real hard to get better doing accents for characters, and I'm having a terrible time at it.
You're fine.
You're fine.
Because she almost said, y'all come back during business hours.
It's hard.
That's on me.
Yes, I love it.
But you come back when the shop's open, and maybe see if there's anything that interests you.
Oh, certainly. It looks like you have many interesting items. Well, I shall return.
And you guys can hit the road. She lets you out and closes up the gate and locks it and closes up all the locks on the thing.
So, yeah, I think on the drive back we can start figuring out what to do. But otherwise, it sounds like we're done for the night.
Yeah, I mean, we can't do anything till tomorrow, unless we're gonna go wandering around town looking for anybody who doesn't have a place to sleep tonight and ask them if they want to be a cobbler for the rest of their lives.
I wonder if I'm gonna look up and see if unemployment agencies exist. I think Saoirse personally is not the kind of person who is very hard line. We're not giving a person to any kind of fairy creature. That's a dumb idea. That is
Not unless they want a lifetime job.
people don't know what they want.
I mean,
Sure.
sometimes people make dumb choices when they're young.
And then you can't get out of it. Wow. Just spilled an entire box of dice.
Or if an older person were to take the job.
Oh.
So a person with a family and people who love them.
Maybe somebody who's outlived their family, doesn't have anyone, just wants some companionship and a hobby in their old age.
It could work. You did
It
not
could
specify
work.
age.
Nope.
Apprenticeship age. Yeah, and tomorrow we have to just talk to the people at the tower and let them know what's up. Otherwise, we have to run to Manchester. Yeah. Sorry, that was an out of character confirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's back to the hotel and then Manchester in the morning.
Mhm.
Right? That's what you said. Okay.
Yeah. I've got nothing. Hold on. Someone in chat has found out when the first unemployment agency existed. 1911. Thank
Also,
you, chat.
Everyone in chat says that you're doing a great job, Dave, with your accents.
Oh.
Agreed.
It's good to try and identify things that you can improve, right? So that's somewhere that I've always felt like all my NPCs end up sounding a lot like me.
What a mood.
So I've been attempting to get better at it. So you head back to the hotel. You get settled in. Diablo's hand comes out from under the bed and waves goodnight.
I leave the shoes that the leprechaun gave us out for Diablo. I'm not taking a Fey gift.
All right. So you set them just inside their door, and
yes,
and then you guys all head off to bed. The rest of the night passes uneventfully. Nothing crazy happens in your hotel rooms. You wake up the next morning. It is, let's see, suspiciously sunny day.
Ooh.
It's like the sun rose and burnt off that foggy mist that was around in the night very quickly, and so just as soon as you go open a curtain, it's like that, wildly unprepared for how bright it is outside. And you open up the curtain and the bright light streams in, and it's actually very pretty outside.
A lovely day to go to Manchester and get a coin back.
a lovely day for a drive.
Sure
it is, in fact. So you guys gonna just jump in the truck and head to Manchester right away?
I think we should talk to the tower people first.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we should send call a fella and at least tell him he's going to have to send us a couple of radios to trade.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah, we should call our guy at the BBC and get him to send us some radio.
Where is he going to? where is Smith going to plug in the radio?
Maybe tell him to send a generator too.
They
This
ran
is getting
electrical
complicated.
cables to the tower. Plug it into the tower.
There is electricity at that building, that's for sure.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well,
We'll just tell him that he's got to
Well-
stick an outlet out there for him.
we'll let the leprechaun figure it out.
Mhm.
He just
think
asked
that's
for the
best.
radio. Not the means to use it.
Specifically he asked for the radio so he could hear the stories.
True,
Right.
true. All right. We'll be
But if there's
nice.
electricity, he should be able to plug it in.
We'll figure
Right.
it out. Yes. So I guess we head back to the tower after
Okay.
doing our morning nonsense. I assume there's another fight.
Well, no, Diablo's like, go on ahead. I'm gonna sleep in today. I was up late.
He's taking some of his much needed vacation time. I always tell him, take a day off, Diablo, and he won't.
Oh,
You just wake up and there's like a hastily scrawled request for PTO, like stuck with a knife into your bedside table.
I think when you come out of your room, I'm standing there with my boxing gloves over my shoulder, no shirt on, and I'm like, "Oh, he's sleeping in today. All right, well, let's turn around, go back, get dressed."
There were like several other hotel guests that like were walking by while you were waiting outside, and they're just like, "Oh, Americans." Hmm.
You see Serge's door opens, just eep, and then the door closes again.
But you guys all managed to get downstairs, and you gonna have a little breakfast before you go, or are you just gonna try and tear off to the tower?
I mean,
Uh,
if we're not in a rush.
Listen, breakfast. We don't have to meet the leprechaun until nightfall, so
Right.
let's have some breakfast and
Okay.
phone the
I-
radio man.
I'm only asking because I'm would vaguely keep track to be like, oh well, you're feeling quite hungry later, or what if you know.
Self-care is
like-
important.
Well, yeah, and not that like there's gonna be some dire, result of that. It's just more like, well, later on if you're like, well, we could skip dinner and stake something out or whatever, then I could be like, well, you didn't eat breakfast. You're gonna
Never
start
investigate weird things on an empty stomach.
right.
I'm just sad because this whole thing takes place in England, and English breakfast is the worst. English food is terrible, in my opinion. That's not
Fair
even a
enough.
character thought. But yes, there is. I think we stop for breakfast.
Well, here, I'll give you this. You stop downstairs and there is like attached to the side of the lobby, it's like the building next to the hotel, right?
Mhm.
But they've opened up a door internally so people can go in, and there is like the full on, as French as you possibly can get, patisserie, right? That is like there's a guy
Oh,
in the back,
yes.
like there's a guy behind the counter with a giant chef's hat on, and like it's like stepping into Pixar movie with the rats.
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille, yeah, like it is fully that inside.
I'm glad we did all this research on this nice hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saoirse immediately just buys an obscene amount of pastry, if that's the case.
Yeah.
It's like an embarrassing amount.
You come out with like this huge box of pastries that is more than enough to keep you all sustained. And they've got, there's little tables if you wanted to eat some there before you hit the road, but
She like
that's fine.
has a croissant in her mouth along with all the other stuff. Like, no.
Yeah, you're set. So you guys jump in the truck with your pastry box, like across your knees. You're in the middle. Just the two of you on the sides have to like lean out because the pastry box is so large. But you drive off to the tower site, and you get there, and there's the workers are up there. They've already gotten started for the morning, and It looks like, they've added on one more layer of the girders. So they're making progress. And you hike on up the hill, or are you just going to drive on?
Um,
He did say not to mess up his ground with our ugly shoes. So maybe we don't
Yeah.
drive over it.
That's
we'll
fair.
walk in our nice leprechaun-made shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Cersei
Okay.
just
Except
takes
for-
off her regular shoes.
So you're just going to sock it up this muddy hillside?
Well, if it's muddy, I'll take off my socks too. That's disgusting.
Well, that's why I'm being questioning. So you pull off your shoes
Barefoot.
and your socks, and you are now gonna barefoot it up the hill. And we're back to the Tarantino movie. Here we go. Up the top of the hill.
Ankle scandalous.
Oh my god. Truly, this is what the content warning at the beginning was
That's
for.
right.
Yeah.
I neglected
Content
to add.
warning, no free feet pics.
But you get up to the top of the hill, and you can see that the line of boots that was there last night has been replaced by a whole variety of bedraggled looking work boots. Right? But looking around, you see all the workers are sporting like, the British. I think they're trickers. Yeah, they're these like super classic. If you were to buy a pair of these boots today, it would cost you around $700.
Ooh.
So they are a very classic sort of British work boot. And they're all walking around and working, looking happy.
I think we should find Mr. Eckersley.
Absolutely can find him. He'll come out of the building with some blueprints or something in his hand.
Good morning, Mr. Eckersley. How are things?
Oh, good morning. Well, we're making progress again.
I see your employees found the nice boots that were left for them here.
Oh, did you bring those from the home office? That was very kind.
We actually did not. Those are from the landowner of the hill.
Landowner? Well, I thought we just bought Crown Land.
No, unfortunately, he was quite hard to track down, as record keeping in the country and whatnot. But we did manage to speak with the landowner, and I think we may be able to solve your tower issues.
Oh. Well, I'm glad to hear it. We'll keep on building. Finish it up then.
Yes, all that he'll require in exchange for the use of the land, you see, it would be a couple of radios. He's very interested in the building, the radio tower, as it were, since we talked to him
Oh.
about it. And also, he is the one that made these lovely boots. You can see the fine workmanship. It's a lot of work though, and he does need an apprentice. So, if you can think of anyone that would want to learn such a craft and spend a long period of time perfecting it, the gentleman would want someone to take on.
Oh. Well, I suppose I can ask around if any of the boys here want to learn how to be shoemakers instead of laborers.
It may be
good
work abroad.
Guaranteed. Like it could be abroad, but it would be work guaranteed for a long time.
A lifetime.
A lifetime indeed.
Sure.
So
Everybody
maybe
needs
that
shoes,
out
right?
of family.
Never searching for work again.
I suppose it wouldn't be that hard to find someone with those kind of guarantees. And I can clearly see that this landowner was a master. There's no There's no denying that these are the best boots I've ever had, or best shoes I've ever had, he says.
Mm.
And you look down at his shoes, and they are like full-on gorgeous black wingtips, like just fabulous.
Quite nice. He made mine as well, and she'll point to her boots.
Oh, I see.
All
You do
different
notice
styles.
that neither one of your, either the cowboy boots or the witch boots, have any mud on them, even after hiking up the hill.
Ooh. Mud
ever-
resistant.
In movies when something is like there's like laxatives in the food and then they cut to everyone just eating and you just know it. That's the feeling Saoirse just has. It's like something's gonna go wrong.
Now,
I will also say that, Saoirse, your feet are filthy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like how
I
every
made my
time
choice.
Mr. Eckersley has seen you, you're covered in mud.
I'm just
Yeah.
constantly covered in
Every
mud.
time.
Yeah.
now, would it be possible if you do find someone interested in such a contract or apprenticing for that?
No contract is correct.
Right. Would you mind if we spoke to them before they made that choice? Just make sure we're clear about the terms of such a contract and what it might mean for them. Now, she wasn't lying when she said it would be a lifetime career, but I just want to make sure they know what they're signing up for.
Well, certainly. I'd assume you would go make the introductions and everything.
Of course,
Since
right.
you're the ones that know who this landowner is.
Right.
So, of course, that would make all the sense to me. But I'll ask the men when we have our coffee break here in a little.
Very good. Very good. Well, we should be on our way then. I don't think you should have any further trouble with strange things happening upon the hill. But if you do, let us know when we get back. We should be back. I don't know how long out of character it takes to go to Manchester and back, but later in the day? Question mark.
It's probably
mean,
about an hour. Unless
Yeah, I was gonna say a couple hours. Yeah,
Yeah.
we
So
should
we
be
could
back by
feasibly
evening.
come back like, yeah.
for sure. So yeah, he's happy to do it, and he's like, and we can totally get a radio. That's fine. That's easy.
All right. Just make sure you have one or two of them here for us tonight.
Tonight. Oh, all right. Sure. I can do that.
And is there? I assume there's power run to the building, but is there any? Are there, like, I look around? Do you have any exterior outlets?
Well, no.
Would it be possible to install one?
I suppose we could. Maybe
All right.
up under the eaves so that
Sure. So the rain don't
doesn't
get to it.
and-
Yeah. Maybe add one of those to your schedule.
Very strange, but all right.
Appreciate it.
Well, all right. So a power outlet, a couple of radios, and a cobbler to be. That's what's on my to-do list for the day.
The joke book.
And a joke book?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you can get one of those, that'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and a joke book. All right.
The landowner, he's fond of humor.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly an eccentric type, I assume.
You could say that.
Definitely.
You'd have to
Eccentric.
be.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, I'll talk to everyone and set things right then.
Thank you.
Head off down the hill again.
Yep.
Yep.
Just a lot of weird errands.
Yeah.
You get down the hill, back in the truck, to set off for Royalty Mint in Manchester. But I think this is going to be a good time for us to take our little midway break. those of you watching live, I'm just going to throw up our little countdown timer again, and I guarantee that we'll be back before 10 minutes elapses. But we're aiming around 5 minutes, but I'm also going to take a second and check in to see if Diablo will awaken, as it were. So we will see you all in just a couple of minutes. Take a second, stretch, do some jumping jacks, use the restroom, all those things, get water, all those things that continue human survival, so that you can keep watching us play games and we can keep playing games. So we'll see you in a couple of minutes. And we return. And Diablo has rejoined us. I'm so excited. Let's I forgot to close the Twitch window, so I'm hearing myself and it's giving me a weird complex. We're gonna pick up with in the hotel room. Diablo climbs out from under the bed after taking a little extra time in the morning to find a beautiful pair of shoes left there next to the bed. And the rest of you can be heading back to the hotel to pick up Diablo on your way to Manchester.
Yeah, Diablo has been dutifully recreating some of his dreams on the bottom boards of the bed underneath Sean with his fingernails. So they're kind of like cracked and chipped, and he's missing a few of his fingernails as he rolls out. And he glances at these very beautiful shoes, and he said they'll look like something you want, or
no? After you take them, they look like whatever you want. Right now, they just look like sort of a generic work boot sort of shoe.
I'll assume it's Sean's because I'm like, okay,
you've been around Sean's feet enough, because you live under the bed and Sean has to stand up sometimes
on the feet.
Sorry, did I make that face out loud?
They are clearly not of Sean's size.
Oh, so Sean must have gifted this to me, maybe in lieu of payment for this month, which is cool. He's gonna pick them up.
Okay. And what kind of shoes did they turn into for
Diablo? I was thinking either like steel-toed boots with like Satan kind of etched into the front, or 2 black boots with the ability to like have a dagger pop off of one of them so he can kick people in the head and also stab them. These 2 things are what he looks for most in shoes. Like when he goes to the shoe store, or like, what's like the discount shoe store? Discount, I think it's called Discount Shoes.
What?
Kmart. I don't know.
I just imagine Diablo going in and some shoe store employee being like, "And what are you looking for today?" "I want your deadliest pair of shoes."
Yes. Which shoes have killed the most people out of these shoes? Is it Nike? Maybe? I don't know.
Don't sell me stilettos. I got tricked before.
Yeah. Oh God, those are hard on your heels. Mm-mm.
All right, so you know what? Considering here, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna roll the shoemaker's abilities and see.
Oh yeah.
What?
If he messes up my shoes, I'm hunting him down.
Okay. So you get a pair of just like Vanta black boots, right? Like they're boots that are so dark you're not sure where you can't tell the definition of them, right? They they look like a black hole of a boot.
You have to confirm you're not Anish Kapoor before you wear them.
And that you're not wearing them for him.
You can't wear them on behalf of Anish Kapoor.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fine.
But you do find that there's not a way to make a knife like shoot out the front, but there is a sheath down the side that you could put a dagger into that just would fit perfectly.
Yeah, he'll put his the dagger that he used to cut up his meat a long time ago, and slip it into the sheath, and kind of just like tap it on the wooden floor before giving himself a smile in the window or the mirror in the room, and making himself ready for Lady Sean.
Cool. So you guys get back to the hotel. There's time for Saoirse to go wash up. There's probably you probably get some looks going through the lobby, right? Because this is a very nice hotel that you're staying at. So it's the oh, again with the mud. All right. There's probably someone comes out and just starts sweeping immediately following you, like the little Wally robot, right?
I try to move fast.
But you get upstairs, you have plenty of time to change. You can all reunite before you head out.
I do want to grab the box. Because we brought that back to the hotel with us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the box to put the coins in, and just make sure that that's all together because we should return the box also.
Okay. So you guys put the 9 coins in it?
Yes.
Okay. And you jump back in the truck, and it's once again just a beautiful day outside, right? And you start driving inland a ways to head towards Manchester. You're driving along, and you get to, you're probably halfway, right? You've been on the road for 45 minutes ish. And there's some morning traffic, right? There's some trucks that are bringing cargo that's been offloaded at the port, into town and all of that. But as you get a little farther out, that thins out until now most of the traffic you're seeing, if any's hardly any is on the road, but you do see some farmers out that are running tractors and doing farm work, chorin, as it were. But you get to a spot, and there's a sort of a roundabout around a pile of a bunch of boulders, right? So it's like the road was heading this direction, and then they realized, well, we have to go, we're not, it's going to be so much work to blow up these rocks or move them or whatever. So they just made it into a scenic traffic circle out here, sort of in the middle of nowhere. But you start to go around the rocks, and on the other side, you see that there is what in modern terms would be a delivery van that is overturned on its side and looks like it caught fire. It is not on fire right now, but it is burnt. It is clearly been engulfed in flame.
Well, that could be anything.
Yeah, I'll pop the top of the truck and be like, I'm getting off here, hold on. And I'll just jump off of the trunk without the truck bed without waiting for it to stop and heading towards that burning carcass of a metal corpse.
Saoirse's gonna hop after.
So you jump out of the back of the moving truck, and for a second you're concerned because the road is dirt here, and it's still got some leftover muddy spots from the sort of mist last night. But You land and your boots don't slide at all. You just kind of stick it.
Like,
And
wow.
you are standing there next to this burnt out van. And then Saoirse, are you gonna jump from the truck before it stops, or are you
No, I'm
wait?
gonna wait till it stops.
Okay. Cool.
I don't know if I'm driving, but we'll pull over as soon as I see Diablo jump out.
Yeah, I look back at Sean, and I look at my feet. And I look back at her, and I nod.
She just gives you a thumbs up.
All right, let's figure out what's happening.
If the rest of you hadn't noticed at that point, his feet look like outer space, right? They just
Eldritch horrors.
Yeah,
They're
there is.
fucking cursed.
They look like
Wait.
there is just a blank spot in the world.
Is that what happened when you took the shoes, Diablo?
Sean provided me shoes when I scrambled out from under the bed after.
I'm sure those are Saoirse's.
I didn't take them for me, so they're not mine.
I mean, I have pretty dainty feet, and I don't think Saoirse's and I feet are in the same size category. Looking at her, I think she's like a 10. I'm more of a 6, maybe a 5.
I think maybe they adjust.
I feel like I'm
they
being
weren't for me.
insulted.
The
No,
leprechaun gave us some shoes.
Right.
These leprechaun, the one who meticulously pinned a man upside down onto a ceiling,
Yes.
and then stuffed a coin down his throat.
Yes.
This is the person.
Yeah,
Yes.
Same.
These were the reward for returning his coin.
There's something.
Oh, they're great. I tell you, I've never had comfier boots.
I don't know how I feel about this, Sean.
I'm waiting to see
Well,
if
you
get
don't have
cursed.
to wear them.
Isn't it too late? I've already put my foot in it. Things are moving on. It's reflected what's in my heart.
I don't think it's reflecting anything, to be honest.
Exactly.
Well, your shoes are flashy, beautiful, well toned around the edges, big, and they look like they kind of grasp onto your feet like like a kid would grasp onto a mother. That
Okay.
seems to reflect you pretty accurately.
Well, thank you, Diablo.
No problem.
Say,
Truck.
Diablo, what do you see in the truck over there?
Oh yeah, sure. And he'll plop over and look for like dead bodies and stuff.
Saoirse's going to see if she can help any living people.
So you get over to the truck, and it looks like the truck lost control trying to go around this pile of stones, like on the roundabout, right? But when you kind of pull yourself up and look in the window, there is a burnt corpse that is behind the wheel of the van that's still like sitting there, like holding on to the wheel. Yeah, that's what you can see through the window.
Oh, he'll slip into the vehicle, kind of slip beside said corpse, and does it have enough flesh on it for me to kind of like move it about, or is it just bone?
It's mostly bone. Like the best way I could describe it would be like Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, right, in Star Wars. Like that's kind of what's left.
So
pretty crispy.
Can I look about the truck and sort of see if I can suss out foul play, like what would have caused it to lose control? Although I guess the catching fire is the thing that's getting me, that has me confused.
Is it a Michael Bay truck?
Yeah.
Look,
Like you
Manchester
can crash
would
a
have
car.
Manchester would have been caught in the explosion if it was Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you do logic investigation roll?
All right. This I
See
can
what you
do.
can-
4.
And I'll throw, handily toss said corpse over to Sean so that she could examine it, just like in pieces and stuff, like as much as I can keep it together.
Okay. Well, hang on. Let's finish this roll, and then we'll let you move the body.
No successes.
No success. Okay, so you're just kind of ooked out, right? You're like, oh.
Unless one of my items gives me another.
Don't you have automatic writing?
Yeah, we could use automatic writing right
Yeah,
now.
right on its face. What's the worst that
This
can
is
happen?
So
Do
stupid.
it.
The worst that could happen is I get 0 successes. Yeah, let's
Sure.
go. Let's do it. I haven't used it this game
All right.
for this session. Remind me what I get to use.
I believe
Inspiration instead of investigation. I think
yeah, I believe that's right.
53. Hold on, I actually wrote down the page number that this would be. Yeah, automatically writing. You can use inspiration to gather clues.
Okay.
That gives me 1 more die. That is really. So should I roll 1 more dice and see if I get a 6 or?
No.
Reroll
Like
everything.
I will let you like take a look around mundanely and not really discover
Yeah.
anything, right?
All right.
But if you're gonna begin automatic writing, that's a whole new roll.
All right. Unless anyone stops me.
Yeah, go play with it.
Terrible. Saoirse turns to Sean and just says, "Gonna try the thing.
Oh,
That thing."
all right.
And she pulls out one of those pamphlets that, and starts to write.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a picture of this because it's a very good roll for like Yahtzee.
Uh-oh.
Just none of them are sixes.
Number 6s.
All right. What page was? Did you
3, 4,
say you
5,
wrote down the
6,
page
7.
of the automatic writing talent?
It's 53.
Let me double check to make sure
This
I
is
do
gonna
it right.
happen eventually.
What's gonna happen? You said nothing bad could happen.
Nothing bad's gonna
Oh,
happen.
that's not true.
What?
Oh,
She
You
might
better
get
not raise the.
possessed.
You
It's
better
like-
not raise the dead again.
not raised, just low key possessed. It's fine.
I raise the dead.
All right. So
Can you raise my parents?
What a useless little.
No, not if you ate them.
you're gonna, Clara. In a second, I'm gonna say high or low. Okay.
Oh God.
So high or low?
Low.
Ooh. All right.
God damn it.
So you start to write, like your pencil just starts to do like sort of curly cues and spirals and that S thing that we all drew on notebooks, and then you just are, the rest of you standing there, you're watching, and Saoirse is starting to do this on the paper like you've probably seen before. Well, no, I guess the rest of you haven't because you did it all by your lonesome last time, right?
I've seen it.
No, Diablo has seen it once.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no. Yeah, Diablo saw it because we were doing. I was proving that the house was okay with us being here.
That's right.
Sir,
Okay.
Sean has seen it because the reason that we are friends or
Yeah.
know each other is because
You've done your thing.
sometimes
We're
that
weirdos.
happens.
Okay. So only Jackie's in the darkest exactly why you're taking
God.
notes.
Are,
But,
are you just taking notes over there, or what's going on?
and then at this point, I will inform you that you are no longer you. Go ahead and roll 1d6.
God, I don't wanna. I'm being betrayed. This is a hate crime. God damn it!
It's not a hate crime.
5.
Okay, all right. So for the next 5 hours or so, you are a delivery truck driver from Liverpool, who is
Now we need to
very
find out if you can
upset.
do a British accent.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not gonna sound any better than my Irish one.
But this delivery truck driver is very, very upset because all that you remember is that there was an argument, and then the accelerator pedal got stuck to the floor.
An argument?
Yes.
Excellent. Is
So
Saoirse
there
there
was-
at all?
No. Mm-mm.
Excellent.
So you are like 55-year-old, balding, somewhat overweight delivery driver from Liverpool who got into an argument last night, or like 2 nights before, and ended up out here.
I feel like this is like an improv. Like, go.
Yeah.
This is your character. Let me get into character.
And the argument bit is that somebody wanted one of your deliveries, like wanted something from your truck, and you didn't. No, you get fired.
Yeah. All right. Let's do this. With apologies to everyone from the UK again. This is just gonna, whatever happens.
Just channel one of the Beatles.
Oh no, that's not better.
Okay.
So yeah, I think whenever Saoirse stops writing and just looks up and just look like, it looks like Saoirse. Nothing changes about her, like,
no, physically no.
But she just she doubles over. She's like, oh fuck, and then just starts cursing in British. Googling names. Give me a second.
Well, that's an unusual string of curses. I've never heard that come out of Saoirse before. Saoirse, are you feeling all right?
What? Nothing. Doesn't. Just keep swearing.
Waves in front of your face. Hello.
What do you? Well, I mean, why do I thought I don't hurt. I do. And he starts patting himself down, trying to.
Oh,
What
I'm
happened?
assuming as much writing as I've seen Saoirse do, this has probably happened before.
At least once.
At least once. Hello, friend. You seem to have had a bit of misfortune. We'd like to help. Can you tell me your name?
My name's Thomas, and who are you? What happened? And he sort of looks around. Where am I?
I'm gonna awkwardly put the skull back in the truck. Just,
Yeah.
maybe now's not the right time. Just like
Sean's like trying to obscure you from
just
from his
putting
view.
it back.
And he starts stretching, kind of like, when you're wearing clothes that are too small for you, because like Saoirse's not like a big person.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Oh, I
what's
love
happening?
that. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
I like that a lot. That creeped me out. The idea of like wearing a too small person suit.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
You ever wake up and you're like a late 20s woman?
Happens every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday.
Types. Thomas, we're with the road safety brigade, and we're trying to sort out what happened with your truck here.
Oh,
Do you
fuck.
remember anything strange?
No, I got in an accident. I was in an argument with somebody, and I cannot do accents. And I remember an argument.
Do you remember who the argument was with?
No, or I would have told you.
If you want, you can do a logic learning roll, and I may
Sure.
reveal more information.
Excellent. Let's do it.
As you
Prove
really
it.
ponder, Thomas.
Yeah, sure. Can I just use my stats? 'Cause
Yeah.
No one expected to stat a truck driver today.
What?
I mean, I can give you some stats if you got into a situation you really needed, like
5s all around the board. Okay.
No, all ones.
Base
Yahtzee,
pool
of
motherfuckers.
10s.
No, it's 3 1s and 3 4s. I'm not really
Okay.
well tonight.
Ooh,
This
excuse
is
me.
upsetting.
So yeah, it's still foggy, right?
I can keep trying, but I don't remember a thing.
Do you remember what the argument was about?
Eh? I don't even remember having someone in my car, in the truck, to be honest. Do I?
Looking at your body, it doesn't look like anyone burned alive in this truck,
What do
except
you
for
mean?
you.
And like he
Diablo.
looks back at the car.
Just gonna push the skeleton further down. Sorry, I didn't know what point we were at.
Where were you delivering to, and what did you have in the truck?
Again, I default to Dave.
It was a variety of like overnight delivery packages. Essentially the FedEx of the day. Just things that were paid for priority delivery to get.
Oh,
Up
I
to
figured out
Manchester.
what happened.
Have we checked the back of the truck yet to see if the delivery
No.
items are still there?
Check.
There you
That's
go.
a great
Yeah.
idea.
Serge
can
is just
open the
sitting
back
here
of the
like,
truck.
check.
Yeah, gonna
There's
open that.
the back of the truck is full of burnt up packages.
Yeah, I think Thomas just sits down to contemplate his morality and scratch his ass. Mortality and scratch his butt.
What was the name of the place we were going? Royal something or other.
Royalty
The
mint.
mint. Yeah.
Royalty Mint. Thomas, did you happen to have a Royalty Mint on your delivery schedule by any chance?
We can check. There should be a manifest in the car, in the truck.
Everything's burned.
Was it made of paper?
Yes, it was made of paper.
Gosh, fire's strength.
I'm gonna
No one. Yes.
I'm gonna go back and sift through the stuff and see if I can't find a silver coin.
I didn't
Sure.
wake up and plan to get set on fire. Just gonna throw that out there.
Did anyone look in the corpse's mouth?
That feels like a Diablo problem.
Yeah, I'll kind of swoop in and like shove my hand down its like mouth and just start like, what we got in here?
Serge Thomas
change,
vomits.
lint. Oh, hey, can you be careful with that because they don't want that to happen. And if they're displeased and Sean is displeased, and if Sean's displeased, I'm displeased, and then I gotta get involved.
What?
Capiche? Capiche.
What?
Don't worry about it, Thomas.
Are you Italian?
No, I'm from Spain. But it's
This whole thing is insane.
Diablo's
Just-
very cosmopolitan.
yeah.
Clearly.
I've been around the block.
Well, I will say you do not find a coin in the mouth. But since you're searching more thoroughly around the body, you notice that the accelerator pedal, right, is nailed to the floor.
Oh, you were killed by the leprechaun. Oh, this is quite devious. Hey, Sean, look over this. They nailed the gas pedal to the ground.
Oh,
Or I guess to the floorboard or whatever.
You're kidding me,
that
right?
is pretty, yeah, it does seem like a thing a leprechaun would do.
Leprechauns don't exist.
Unfortunately for
dead.
you, they do.
We're just gonna, rip that band-aid off.
Yeah.
If I'm dead, how am I talking to you?
Look down.
well?
Is anything not like what it once was?
Oh no.
Yeah, Thomas sits back down to contemplate mortality. It's a lot.
I'm
It's
dead,
a
but I've
lot for a
got
truck driver.
boobs.
Contemplate mortality and boobs.
Thursdays.
I mean, I feel like there's many people on this earth that have spent a lot of time doing both things.
Yep.
Especially truck drivers. They don't have a lot to think about. So
Yeah.
mortality and boobs. That's what you got.
This is where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bloody hell. All right. Cool. I lived a good life.
Okay.
Yeah. Now,
Uh,
Diablo,
Thomas?
you don't know this ghost. How are you supposed to judge?
I had a rich internal life.
I don't know. I think someone who lived a very rich and fulfilling life probably will want to stick around, especially at like this age. He's a gentleman in his prime, right? 40, 50, 60? That's prime age. Still got so much life left to live.
I will say that Thomas, you specifically remember the last thing before things went haywire was you said, "No, I'm not giving you any of my packages. That'll get me fired." And then things went off the rails. And you just remember you
okay.
just remember like a guttural laugh as the truck sort of turned on its side after the crash.
Excellent. Yeah.
Okay.
Thomas comes out of the existential crisis to I remember someone asking me about one of my packages. They wanted to steal it.
Were they a short fella?
Everyone's a short fella. And like gestures to corpse, which is long.
Like a really short fella.
You don't actually remember at
don't
all
remember
who you were
seeing him.
arguing with.
Mm-mm.
Damn. And I don't find anything in the back, right?
You know what? Do a like logic investigation.
Okay. Cool.
Get like the snow blower.
Oh shit.
Shoot off of
That's
the
one
ash.
success on 2 dice.
Oh heck
Nice.
yeah!
Wow.
That's where my fucking luck went.
Just
Should
over
have worn the
there.
shoes.
I mean, don't piss off a leprechaun if you want to be lucky, I guess.
Should have worn the fucking shoes.
Yeah.
So you search through the back and you do find like that was kind of sandwiched between other packages. You find the package that said Royalty Mint and Dolly's is the return address on it. And the end has been sliced open and the package is empty. But you find the package.
All right. Well, I
And
got
it's,
good news.
You know, singed and stuff, but it didn't immolate.
I got good news and I got bad news. Good news is the coin has been returned. Bad news is we don't get to give it to him.
Well, we've got 9 others to give him. So
I hope
hopefully
that's
he'll
enough.
still be pleased.
Hey, actually, I got an idea. Thomas, how do you feel about making shoes?
I'm dead.
Well, sure, but I'm just saying he didn't say anything about needing like a body, right? Like he just needed an apprentice.
Can I keep this one?
No, that's a friend of ours. You're
Sure.
gonna have to
Oh,
give
wait,
that
no.
back, actually.
Damn you, Mitch.
Limited time deal on that one.
Mitch
I'm
said
afraid.
yes.
Nights and weekends
Nights and
only.
Saoirse would like someone to ask if Saoirse wants to.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking when you pop out of there, maybe you want to make some shoes for a little while.
Yeah, want to work for the guy who burned you alive?
Oh,
That'd
yeah, I
be
guess that'd be a
something you're
little
interested
cruel.
into. I don't
Maybe
know.
put it that way.
Some people are into it, and I'm not gonna shame people. It's cool.
I like to think I lived a good life and that there's something out there after me. I'm still doing this half Irish accent, whatever. I like
Don't
to
worry,
think I lived
y'all.
a good life. Don't worry, y'all.
Look, I don't know if it's any consolation, but from every perspective, if there is a light on the other side, it's dark and blinding.
Wait, how's it blinding if it's dark?
Look at
He
the
just
shoes.
like stares off into the
Oh, like the
distance.
shoes. Yeah, I guess I could see getting lost in those.
Well, if I can keep living, I'll try to keep living. So yeah, let's trade it. I could take another job. I'm waiting for you guys to figure out, like, I don't know that that's gonna work. Also, this is still Saoirse's body.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about the concept, but it has put you guys on a really condensed timetable because you've got I guess this is out of character knowledge. You don't even know this, but you've got essentially 5 hours to figure this out before he
Yeah.
goes and Saoirse's back.
I'm just very annoyed.
Well, hopefully Mr. Eckersley will have some other options for us.
I mean, should we knock him out just so he's not running around with a body that's not
Well,
his?
We
I'm
don't
right
want to
here.
hurt Saoirse.
I could do it in a non-hurtful way, mostly.
No,
I'm pretty
absolutely
sure.
not.
I mean, as someone who has been knocked out, there is no pleasant way to wake up from that.
Yeah, no, the wake up will be horrific.
Right.
Jaw broken and twisted and malformed.
Right, she don't
Thomas,
deserve that.
No, she
Thomas,
doesn't.
you're gonna have to come with us.
I
Let's
don't
go.
feel like I have much of a choice here.
Don't.
You don't.
That's
You
not
are
better.
wise.
You guys are creepy.
Also, can we talk about this Smith?
Smith? Oh, the leprechaun?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about him?
I don't. I mean, I was thinking about when I see him taking off the shoes and pissing in it in front of him.
I
I mean,
don't
I feel like
recommend that.
Might antagonize him in an unnecessary way.
He's antagonized humanity. He's killed 2 people in very malicious ways.
Right.
Who's protecting humanity if not us?
We are. We've worked out a way for him to not hurt people and for the radio tower to go up.
For the time
All the way
being,
up.
sure. What about the future when it happens again? And someone else has to appease him with gifts. It's like the old sacrifices we used to make to the old gods. People screaming and blood curdling. Just so that we can have a little bit of peace.
Is he okay?
No.
We should probably get back to the work site.
I slept on the wrong side of my back. So.
I can see that.
Well, if the leprechaun makes more trouble, I'm sure the BBC will ask us to come out and speak to him again. And if he does it again, maybe we do something stronger than words.
If you murder any more than 2
this.
people.
I
think we could resolve this one with diplomacy.
I think
I don't think that's true.
I say we play nice here and now because I want Sean to be happy. But we let them know if this persists, we're gonna nail him to a steel tower.
Can I avenge my death?
No.
Oh. Sorry.
I mean, technically, we're planning on indenturing you to the person who murdered you, so
that was not my plan.
Is that a problem?
What?
I mean, maybe by becoming his apprentice, you'll find ways to make his life a living hell.
Right. You can exact your revenge, like one little day at a time.
Isn't carpentry, or what is it? What do you call someone who makes shoes?
A cobbler.
Yeah, I mean, they deal with skin and tanning and such. I'm sure you could find good use for leprechaun. Skin.
Damn.
All right then. Yeah, I think Thomas is just gonna again contemplate his life choices and mortality.
Does he?
Oh.
Does Thomas have any like relatives in the area?
I guess I have yes
we-
Thomas had
Sure.
family, sure, yeah.
Oh, should we bring him back to his wife for like one more like couple hours? I don't know. Like,
Just leave Saoirse with Thomas's family in Manchester.
We'll be back tomorrow.
It's a little confusing.
I feel like if that's the choice you make, that ruins the possibility of seeing if Thomas's spirit could be an apprentice.
Yeah, that
I
makes
feel
sense.
like Sean's pretty dubious about the whole ghost apprentice situation. I think we need a person with a body who can make shoes.
Okay,
Huh.
you guys
Well, if that-
decide. Yeah.
I mean, if you don't feel right about it, is there any way we can just send Thomas here on his way?
I mean, I could try to perform a bit of an exorcism.
Yeah.
That's kind of like
Isn't that
being
only for
do-
the devil?
No, it's for anything.
No, you'd be surprised about how many things it works on.
The devil don't like that.
You can absolutely.
Can I
Do a
use my
working.
medium skill to try and yeet Thomas out of Saoirse's
Yes.
body?
You absolutely can do that. I love it.
Oh my god.
Okay, great.
Are you just doing this on the side of the road between Liverpool and Manchester?
Is there
Yes.
anywhere
Okay.
else?
I'm just.
This feels
I
like
don't
the
know.
perfect place.
Oh no, there's a stone circle nearby.
Oh
There
my
is.
god.
There's a
Oh,
stone
okay.
circle right in the middle.
There are.
We're doing an
100% is.
exorcism in a henge, you guys.
Yeah,
Woo!
this
Well,
couldn't
it's
go
not
need
how I
wrong.
thought today
No
was
way.
gonna go, but
Listen,
Can you get
I get
double possessed?
Yeah, maybe. Can I get a +1 for the convenient henge?
You
become
absolutely
Legion.
can. Yes.
I'm gonna get double possessed. I'm excited.
I think
me
if
get
this
some of
goes
those
wrong,
nails.
I get possessed and you stay possessed. So
Two
Okay.
possessions. Excellent.
If that's so, we're gonna leave you with Thomas's family, both of you.
Two possessions to the price of one. Let's go.
oh no,
Like-
and then you guys have to negotiate with the leprechauns. That's a terrible idea.
You go for his arms, I'll go for his face.
So
Got this.
I will say you lead Thomas over to the center of the pile of stones.
Yes.
And you actually do feel a little bit of power from them, right? Like you have that sense that like these have been here forever, and there's some magic to that. Right?
Hmm.
Saoirse starts
Wait.
sneezing. Thomas has no idea why.
Aw.
No, I don't. I don't think it would be an allergy thing here.
Okay.
It's more just like that. Like if you've ever been in a building that has a subway tunnel that goes underneath,
Mm.
and you every once in a while you just feel that thrum of the train going through the building. The building's
love that
sturdy,
thrum.
nothing's weird about it or anything, but you just get that little bit of like, oh, there's something going on here.
Ooh, spicy.
So I
so excited.
got no successes.
oh no.
I got 2 5s, 5 4s, and a 3.
Sean and Saoirse get double possessed.
Wait,
Uh,
no, it says for medium, it says on failure, you're given inaccurate information, attacked, or suffer a condition.
Possessed
Yes.
is a condition.
Unless,
No.
I mean, GM's
Oh,
discretion
man.
if you want to make us double possessed.
No. Double possession is not what's on the cards. However,
Triple?
The body jump. The
you
spirit jump.
you 100% have opened an old doorway here.
Oh good.
Like you walked right up to it and you grabbed the doorknob and you opened it, and now from your like level of supernatural understanding, it feels very much like when the redhead guy goes and turns off the ghost containment machine in Ghostbusters, and just stuff like there's like a beacon of supernatural light that goes up into the sky, and yeah, I mean nothing has come out and attacked you right now. You're no, but clearly there has been a breach between worlds that is now here.
It's the upside down.
Did whatever's supposed to happen happen?
Sean looks a little uncharacteristically like stone-faced and a little bit like dissociated, and she just very slowly turns to you and goes, "We should go."
Audio.
I
No.
mean, what? Well, what happened?
Get in the truck. I'll tell you in the ride. Get in the truck. Get in the truck.
Is everything okay?
All
Time to get in the
right.
truck.
Yep.
We should go.
Did
Let's
we
get in the
break
truck.
something here? Did we need?
Nope.
All
Nope, it's
right.
fine.
Are we being responsible by leaving?
Yes. There.
Okay.
Let's
do
go.
it.
All right. Well, never been to Manchester. Don't ever have to go.
Yep.
You
She just
guys all
limps
noticed
after
that
you.
like you can't really place it, but her accent is different. Like the Welsh slips a little bit and you hear a little bit of something else under it, but you're not sure what.
Are you all right?
We should test her to see if she's possessed.
She's also possessed.
Are you?
I'm not
Are
possessed.
you Sean right now?
I'm very much Sean, and I'm very much sure that we should all get in the truck.
How
And
many
it's back. The
ounces
Welsh
of
is back.
drool do you create every week?
I
All right,
wouldn't
Diablo,
know,
no
Diablo.
one would
You're
know
the
that.
only one who measures it.
I feel like I've told you the answer though sometime in our past. Like
You've told me a lot of things.
that's fair. Okay, it's Sean.
All right, it has to be because no one else would have responded that calmly to what you just said. So let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
What
The answer, by the way, is
happened?
5 fluid ounces.
What?
Yeah.
That
And she just
seems like too much.
It's
in
not
the truck.
an appropriate
I'll
amount.
tap Saoirse on the shoulder and go, "Saoirse, I'm sorry. You're going to be Thomas for a little bit."
Can she hear you?
I have no
I don't
idea
know.
who you're talking to.
All right, Thomas, time to get in the
woman
truck.
whose body you're in. Yep, get in the truck.
Put Saoirse in the truck for us.
Thomas like limps over to the truck. Listen, still like that too small suit shape.
Walking funny.
It's walking funny. I got
So you guys get in the truck
here.
and you are heading back for the Liverpool area.
Liverpool. Woo.
Diablo, something don't feel right.
No, I agree. I think our time is about to come, and what we talked about earlier, when our bodies were pressed against each other, sweat dripping on the ground, I think that discussion will become very important soon.
You know, I came by actually this morning looking for a sparring match, but you were sleeping.
Yeah, there are some times when I can see a smiling face through a reflection of a window, and at first this used to scare me, but now it scares me more when I can't see it, and so I have trouble sleeping.
No, I'm sorry about that.
I think it's just kind of the line of work that we're in. We're all haunted by the things that we've done, the things needed, and more for us to see.
No, I understand that. All right, well, let's go see if we can't deal with this leprechaun and get rid of one more horrible thing.
Let's do this.
You head on up to the hill. You get there. It's still daytime, so you know the workers are still working. Everything seems hunky dory at the hill. Are you going to attempt to make contact during the day, or are you gonna just loiter about until night?
Well, we need to check with Mr. Eckersley if we have a volunteer for lifetime apprenticeship
Well, I don't know if we
opportunity
could
for cobblers.
communicate the exact nature of this without them fully understanding what they're getting into.
Well, if someone wants to volunteer, we'll have a wee chat with them before they, sign on the dotted line.
I
They
mean, this is full
believe
events. You
us.
do not have a bedside manner. Full offense.
What?
Full offense taken, Thomas. Fair enough.
Hey,
I mean-
Sean is the epitome of bedside manner. Okay,
Do you like whiskey?
Thomas.
Do you like whiskey,
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
All right. I'll pull a flask
Great
out of my
idea.
jacket.
I just take the full flask.
I'll take off my shoes and set them down on the ground.
You can absolutely do that.
Okay.
And then
They're
I'm gonna
not-
look at Tornado.
Mm-hmm.
Share a look. Mm-hmm.
What are we agreeing to
Okay,
right
if
now?
you say so.
No, well, hold on. I
Um,
need you to vocalize it for me. What did we just? What was that
Oh.
look for?
I'm gonna bring the individual here so we can do this now.
I don't think
What?
we should do that with all these bystanders around, and especially not without Saoirse back.
Oh, Saoirse.
Right.
Thomas. Currently Thomas.
I figure I'm hoping if I get Thomas drunk, he'll just go sleep and get out of here.
Yeah, maybe we should recline. Sean, are you feeling a little tired yourself? Would you like to take a nap? I can watch over you while you sleep.
I would not. Thanks though. I'd like to speak to Mr. Eckersley, but if you lot want to take a nap here and keep a watch over Thomas, then I'll be happy to broker our apprenticeship deal.
I just listen as someone who may or may not have not understood the severity of a contract in the past. I want to make sure that this kid knows what he's up to. What I want to make sure they know what they're selling.
I think that's only fair. I'm not gonna
Mm.
let them go into this blind.
Why don't Tornado? You're good with people, much better than I am by several degrees. I'll admit that. Why don't Thomas and I will go have some fun, and then you two handle the discussion. I think that's a good splitting of duties here.
All right, just make sure Thomas doesn't hurt Saoirse if he gets too drunk. All right.
Oh, you got it. Thomas will not lay a finger on that body.
I mean, he's all right.
Thomas tosses you an empty flask.
Oh, well, damn, that was fast.
It's fine. Thomas was a 55 plus year old man. Saoirse is half that age and a female bodied person.
Yep, tiny woman.
Are the cows around?
Yeah, you could see him down the
Okay.
way.
I'm like, Thomas, let me show you what I learned on the farm. We're gonna have some nice fresh milk and just lay out on the grass.
That sounds good. I like this plan.
Hell yeah.
Following you.
Let's get
We're best
wrecked.
friends now.
No, we're not. I hate you.
I love this
But I
man.
like-
I love this guy.
The body that you inhabit, the soul
you.
that was once there, not necessarily the physical form.
I like you too, kid.
Don't call me kid.
He like
Last-
slings his arm over your shoulder. It's plastered.
It's like we like head towards the cow. I'm gonna look over and be like, I ate my parents, right?
You what?
Nothing. Let's go milk a cow.
Oh man.
Excellent.
Oh, they'll be fine. Probably.
All right.
I hope so.
So you two trudge off across the field towards the cows. And then Sean, you wanted to go up the hill to talk to Eckersley, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going up to Eckersley also?
Yeah, I'll go with it.
Okay. So let's take care of that first. You guys get up the hill, and he kind of looks at you both, and he's like, "Oh well, I haven't gotten everything on the to-do list done yet."
Well, how's it coming along then?
Oh well, and he kind of whistles, right? Um, and this young man, uh, not not child young, but you know, early 20s at the oldest. He kind of comes running over, um, and he kind of looks at you both, and then Eckersley says, "Well, this is Dean. He said he would be maybe interested in learning how to make shoes as fine as the ones we all received." And Dean is like, "Yeah, that sounds fun." And he kind of goes, "I've never done it before or anything.
Well,
I'm
that's all
not."
right. Why don't you take a walk with us, Dean, and we'll tell you more about the opportunity.
Oh, all right. And he'll follow along, and Eckersley kind of waves at you and gets back to work, and no problem.
So, so the land, it doesn't matter, you never made shoes before. The landowner, Mr. Smith, who made the shoes, you've seen it, very fine work. He can teach you everything you'd need to know. Um, and you'd have to help with making the shoes. And did Mr. Eckersley tell you it's a long-term position?
But yeah, he said that I'd have to be probably working there for years, but
Hmm. Yeah.
the pay's good. I not a big problem.
It's
It's got to
a
be
it's a
easier than
guaranteed.
lugging steel around all the time.
Oh, I think so. It's probably less hard on you on the body. Um, but we just want to make sure you understand that once you accept the position, you need to be real sure that's what you want to do because once you accept the position, there's not really any backing out.
I I suppose I never really had to make a decision like that, but yeah, I mean, it seems interesting, and it's got to be easier than doing labor like this.
Oh, I would think so. Having nice steady work for years and years is uh, pretty advantageous when you could be going back and forth between hauling logs and whatever.
And these
We just
shoes
want
are
to
the
make sure
best.
they are very good shoes.
You would learn how to make very fine shoes, and I can't speak for the accommodations, but I assume they'd be fine. Now, it is a very long contract, decades long contract.
Oh, I I suppose it's good to start planning for your future, right?
Sure, sure. Um, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sean, but I assume that it would be you wouldn't really have much of a personal life outside of work.
He kind of frowns a little bit, like, "What? I mean, I wouldn't have any days off."
Mhm. Now, I don't know exactly how do those sort of contracts work.
Out of
Only
character, would I know anything about
if only the
I
that?
person who knew about Faye
Yeah.
wasn't possessed.
wasn't a drunk delivery driver.
Wasn't drunk.
Uh, I, if you think you have knowledge about that kind of thing, I'm willing to
Sure.
run with that. Um,
I mean,
it,
being an
it
occultist, I would have studied.
yeah, yeah. I would say that what you'd probably know is that it really comes down to the letter of the contract.
Mhm.
Like, almost anything is negotiable, but
Mm.
if it's not written in the contract, it's not going to happen. So if,
Mhm.
weekends off isn't written down, he's not going to get a weekend off.
Okay.
That kind of,
Right. Okay. Well, I think that's a detail you and Mr. Smith would have to work out at the very beginning before you sign the contract. You want to make sure that everything that's in there you've asked for that you need, like your accommodations, your days off if you want them, um, that
Okay.
kind of thing.
Okay.
So you have it all spelled out. Just make because Mr. Smith is very particular and down to the letter of the contract.
And don't leave anything out. Like
Even if you think it's silly.
yeah,
Okay.
like if you want specific accommodations where you sleep at night, that kind of thing, make sure it's in there. If you want to be able to have a family, make sure it's in the contract.
Huh. Okay. Well,
I was I was once standing in the same position that you were, and I maybe didn't read my contract so good.
oh, okay.
And if I had had someone like me standing in front of me within, I would have appreciated this advice.
Well, do you all think you could help me make sure that I do it right? I
Absolutely.
haven't done a lot of school for. Should I try and find a barrister to help?
Oh, we could help. I think we'd be making the introduction to Mr. Smith anyway. And like Mr. Tornado says, he's dealt with these types of contracts before. And I have a bit of knowledge myself. We'll be happy to advocate for you. So we make sure you get a fair deal.
That sounds nice. At least if I agree now and I go meet the man and I don't like it, can I leave?
If you don't like what's in the contract, you don't have to sign it.
Oh, that seems all right with me.
And then we'll just find if there's someone else that wants the position, we'll offer it to them. The important thing is to find the right person to take this apprenticeship who's gonna really enjoy it and do a good job for a long time.
And I'm pretty sure you're going to come out of it being one of the best damn cobblers that anybody's ever seen.
Oh, sounds pretty good to me.
All right.
Sounds like a thing that I could do for a while and then have a job that would fine shoes sell for good money. So
That they do.
Right?
All right. So I'll tell him kind of like where and when to meet us this evening to, you know,
okay.
take a look at the contract and see if he wants to sign it.
Rock on. And then you see that there's an electrician that has put in an outdoor outlet underneath the eaves of the building. And there's been 2 radios delivered from the shop up in town. So that just leaves. I'm sorry, I've forgotten what all you told him he had to work on.
He has to put the power outlet.
Yeah, well, we got that. That's taken care of. So power outlet, radios, apprentice,
and a joke book.
Oh, the
And a
joke
joke
book. He
book.
has not gotten the joke book yet, but he's he will make an effort to go find a joke book and have it left here in the building for y'all.
Can it just be the script of Disney's Aladdin?
Like, just like reaches through a time portal and
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Pretty Sure, I just beta time portal. Oops.
Yeah, we don't know what happened back
Oh.
there.
That's the most delightful thing that could have happened tonight. I'm so
It's
Oh
a
my
excited.
gosh.
nightmare.
Oops, I pressed the on button on the hinge. Whoops.
Oh
So
God.
if there's anything like all of these things will be completed by night. Is there anything else you guys want to do before you have your leprechaun meetup?
I assume I get
.com.
unpossessed. I'm unpossessed by then.
Yeah, by evening you will be back to you. Yes.
Okay.
We're like outside laying on the grass with like 2 buckets of milk beside us, just chilling around some cows.
Yeah, Tom just falls asleep. Like, all right.
So yeah, you could
Yeah.
wake up and be you again, and no problem. You're probably you
Yeah,
with
I
a
think-
little bit of a hangover.
Yeah, so she wakes up with a fucking hangover.
I feel
And
like
like
we
a
should
milk
get
mustache.
yeah, Saoirse like a burger or something. You need a shepherd's pie after
Right.
that.
Some food and some aspirin.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
couple
Yeah,
of
I
the
think-
like fizzy Alka-Seltzer tablets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there you go.
Good.
So that can all happen.
Some
And
McDonald's.
you guys can head back to the hill at night if that's what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll get my
Actually-
regular shoes on, but bring the black ones.
Saoirse, sorry, I can see that you're not feeling too well, but I had a question. If this does come to a conflict with this, with Mr. Smith, and I pull out my knuckle dusters, and would there be any kind of symbols or anything I might want to carve into the front of these? Would that be beneficial in any way?
I assume this is the 5 hours later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she just has like an ice pack on her face. Are you a God-fearing man, Jackie?
Yes, ma'am.
That helps. What are they made of?
I grabbed them at the house. So
Then I assume they're iron. That helps. I don't know. My head hurts.
I'm sorry. I do feel a little responsible. I did give that ghost my whiskey flask.
That's fine.
And we milked a cow and drank 2 gallons of milk.
I feel disgusting.
She's lactose
Just
intolerant.
Whiskey. and
Oh my
milk.
gosh.
Whiskey and milk.
That's how you get the sipping cream.
Oh, that's sipping cream.
So it's just
So
fucked
good.
up. They're having that. That's it. What did we find? A person? Are we just going to kill him?
No, well,
As fine.
there is a fella who's interested in the apprenticeship. Sorry. I
Yes.
tried to explain to him best as I could what is at stake and how important it is that he get exactly the terms he's comfortable with. And if he's not okay with it, then I told him, or Sean and I told him, that he don't have to sign. And if that pisses
Mm.
off Mr. Smith, well, then we'll take that up with Mr. Smith ourselves.
Don't make deals, Faye. That's why you don't take the shoes. That's why you don't go on the land. It's fine. Do you have a barrister?
I mean, Sean and I offered to help, but no, I mean, we don't have like a law person.
People who work for the Fae do not come back. And
Like-
if they come back, they're wrong.
Mm.
I don't think you can convey to this person how much of a bad idea it would be. And like Saoirse looks more serious than you've ever seen. Like she does not. This is one of those things. She's like, no.
I mean, if he can't understand, like if there's no way to make this young man comprehend
How
the
old are
choices
you?
he's making. What was your question?
How old are you?
29. Well, 28, 29.
How old is this kid?
About the same age I was when I got my first contract.
And you think that you made the best decisions when you were that age?
Well, of course not. That's why I try to tell him.
I just don't think they're making the best, that anyone is in their right mind to make the best, to agree with something like that. But free will, whatever. Free will, whatever it is. Wear a
All right.
cross.
Okay.
And Saoirse actually takes off the cross that she wears that has the little compartment, which you don't know about, and hands it to you.
Oh. Well, thank you.
I am going to be far, far away, but within sight. And she looks at she gestures to the rifle in her room.
How's your sight right now?
I'll figure out which of the two of you not to hit.
Okay, well, aim for the little one.
I'll try. Hopefully it's hopefully I can shoot hungover.
Yeah, you're not so hungover that I'm like putting a penalty on you. It's not.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah, and the milk balances it out. Counteracts the alcohol in the tummy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's science.
Science.
Mm-hmm.
You've just been scienced.
Yep.
Just been scienced.
All right. So
yeah.
it's nightfall. You tootle back up to the fence and park, and a few minutes later, you see the familiar shape of Smith, and he comes around the hill in just the same way he did before, but he doesn't go over to the hole, unless you guys set up the table and everything again. Is that what you wanted to do, or?
Well, yeah, we've got more coins to give him.
Right.
So, I think we should put the table back and put his box full of coins on it.
Okay. So you set the table up, put the box of coins, and then he comes around and hops down in, and you can see like he takes the box off and opens up his coat, puts it back in his coat, and then climbs back out of the hole and comes tootling down to the bottom of the laneway to get to where you are, and he hops up on the railing again, and he looks around at all of you, and he goes, "Well." Oh, and Dean, the young man, is there with you. And Dean does not appear to see him at all, right? Like even when he starts talking, Dean is like just leaning on the truck, looking the other way because he's not at all knowledgeable about what's happening. But he goes, "Well, you came through on the rest of those coins. I'm a bit surprised."
Oh, we're pleased to surprise you.
But you seem like good folk, honest people. That's what this world needs more of.
They're just like sitting by the truck with a rifle, just like.
Are you like actively aiming the rifle at him?
No, just sort of sitting there very casually, okay. Like. Cool.
I'll hand him or toss the shoes towards him.
Oh, you don't like the shoes?
I will say my piece of the negotiations have been completed, and he'll nod towards Sean and give a thumbs up.
All right.
But I hate you.
Oh. Diablo, rude.
Sorry. My bad. After negotiations are complete.
He's a strong one, isn't he? Got spirit.
He is a strong one, yes.
He sure is.
Is he here to be an apprentice? I could use that kind of
Um,
fire.
no, Diablo works for me.
Oh, I wouldn't get in the way of an apprenticeship.
Appreciate it. Um, we did manage to get you the radio. It's plugged in up in the and an outlet outside so that you can operate it if you like out of doors.
Outlet.
Mm. It's what
Okay.
lets the radio work with the tower.
Oh, all right. All right. I
Needs a
suppose I'll
line.
figure it out.
Yeah, we can show you how it works. And we've got you your coins back, just as promised. And we have a young chap who's interested in hearing more about the apprenticeship.
And he kind of like leans around and sees the boy leaning there, who's kind of looking at all of you that are now talking to nothing, and is kind of like, these people. Maybe he's clearly having second thoughts because now he's worried that you people are insane. Um, and he's like, but he's still like, okay, well, I guess I'm here. Let's see what's going to happen. Um, but what was I going to just say? Oh well. He kind of goes, oh, and he goes, oh, a young lad. We could work with that. Lots to learn, lots to learn. And he kind of like hops down off the fence and starts walking over towards Dean. And he gets over to him and he looks him up and down, and he kind of reaches up and he knocks him, just not hard but gently, like Biff Tannen in Back to the Future, like the Hello McFly knock, right?
Mhm.
Like he kind of hits him a couple of times on the side of the head, and then Dean kind of goes, huh, and like looks down and then like jumps back and is all like, what? Ah,
Uh,
um
that there's Mr. Smith. I'd be kind.
oh oh hello, Mr. Smith. I'm here to maybe see about working for you. And Smith gives him a look up and down and goes, oh well, polite boy. You could work. Now they told you about the terms of service. And Dean kind of nods, right? Because you guys explained it, at least in vague terms. And Smith looks at him again and he says, well, now they said that you might want some compensation for your work. That's what we do nowadays. You have to pay people. They don't just learn. So I'll make you a deal, boyo. You work for me. You'll learn the craft. You'll make fine shoes when you're done. And when you can make a pair of shoes that rival me own shoes, that's when you can go. And you can go off and do your craft anywhere in the world, and I promise you, you'll never have competition.
Saoirse, you just hear not very, just she's not that far away. She can still hear. That's a bum deal.
And he kind of looks over at you and goes, no, I wasn't done. I think that seems pretty generous, but you'll be taken care of. You'll have a place to sleep and food to eat. You won't go out in the cold. Your working hours will be normal. You'll put in the effort to the craft, and when you're done, then you'll get to go rest.
Can I ask you a question there, Mr. Smith?
Aye.
How many of your apprentices have completed their contracts?
Over time, I think I've trained up 6 or 7 over the years.
And they all finished. They all got to that point where they could make shoes just like yours.
Well, I did have one that he chose to leave without trying to finish his contract. So he didn't. But the rest all made it eventually. I had one sod. He was dumb as a post. I worked with him for probably 124 years before he finally got to it. But he was a good-hearted soul, just not very good at picking things up.
Now,
And
there's a
I have a
bully
question as
outside.
well.
Saoirse hops off the truck at this point and just starts marching over. She's no.
Yes.
Normal working hours. What would those be? Varies
Well-
from town to town, so we'll
I
likely
think-
find.
What, typical 9 to 4 p.m. with a 2-hour break in between, Tuesday to Fridays. National holidays and religious holidays observed. Paid time off. We're talking about 3 months a year. This is cumulative. They don't disappear after the year ends. Healthcare.
Well, now you're talking a lot. But I'd say you're not too far off the mark. You'd have a good time. The only thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to let anybody take time off for any of these religious holidays. That's a load of bunk. But you can take bankers' holidays. I'll give you that.
And 3 months pay time off, as well as a extra 20 years on his lifespan.
Well, I can't promise anything after he's done apprenticing.
One
Give him
more
life.
one more idea. This apprenticeship, how about it ends after 10 years? And we renegotiate the contract with a new apprentice after that. I believe that under your tutelage, his work will already rival any mortals here.
Oh,
Even after 10 years.
you're telling me you've got a very smart boy here.
I have no idea, actually. I think it's very stupid to do this.
Hey,
What?
boy, are you stupid?
He's like, I don't think I'm stupid.
You are.
Oh.
She had 2 gallons of milk. It's not her, it's the milk talking.
But listen here, he says. Now, I can promise he'll come out the end of his apprentice as long as he works hard and tries and eventually learns the craft. He'll come out the other end of his apprenticeship looking just like you see him here.
That's the problem.
Why is that a problem?
Because the
You want
last
me to let him
apprentice
get
you had,
old? What if he
No, but
takes
the last
time
apprentice you-
120 years again?
exactly.
He'll come out shriveled up like a prune.
But he won't have anyone around who knows him. He's lost his whole family
Well,
and friends. Do you have family and friends, Dean?
he goes, "Well, yeah, I've got some friends. Me mum.
Are you ready to lose them for an immeasurable amount of time?
Well, but I come out the other end being a famous shoemaker.
Perhaps.
Most likely.
And
Famous.
you're telling me
Not
that
guaranteed.
you're telling me that this man can make it so I could work for 120 years and not get old?
That's not a boon.
That he could.
Well, but I'm gonna get time off, right? And the leprechaun nods. He goes, as long as you don't go sharing any trade secrets, boyo, and waves his stick at him threateningly a little bit. But the leprechaun's like, no, I'd let him take his time off. He could work. I'll make you a deal. I'll say 4 days a week. He's not taking off a whole season of the year, because we have different work every season. But he'll have every week 3 days off. And when he comes out the other end, I'll give him seed money to start up his own business.
Can we add one more detail? I would like him to always have the ability to contact one of us if he is ever dissatisfied.
Sure enough, you know where to find me.
I want him to always have a line, and I want you to ensure that you don't stop him.
Well, I'll give you this. He can get a hold of you. However, you people all do that. I'm not gonna magic up a way for him to contact you
Just-
wherever on the planet you are.
Just don't get in his way.
Nah, is time off? Now, during working hours, he's not gonna be go gabbing all the time. But when he's not working, he can go meet you in the pub, whatever you're gonna do.
Look
Well-
over at Cersei. Are you satisfied?
No, but fine.
Ultimately, it's up to Dean.
Yeah.
What you think, Dean?
He's like, I mean, I guess so. Seems like a pretty good deal. I'll be working less hours than I work now,
Yeah.
True?
and I
True.
won't have to pay rent.
Nope.
And you said you'll give me good food? The leprechaun kind of nods. He's like, as good as I can make for myself. And, yeah. It seems like a pretty fair deal.
Again, out of character, I would take this in a heartbeat.
Would 100% take this deal.
10,000%.
Yes.
So unless one of you is going to attempt to convince Dean that this is a bad idea, he's going to take the deal.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell him. Look, there's a moment in time when you were a kid, when you're looking at the prize and you're salivating. You have a knife in your right hand. Your left hand has the little wooden toy that your dad carved you when you were much younger and afraid of thunderstorms. And you're going to start salivating and you're going to want to bite in and tear and chew, just as any other human would, like any other normal human being. But you're going to look back on that day, despite how tasty it was, and you're going to have some regrets. So you be darn sure that what you're doing here is what you want, because you can't take it back, and you can't get those years back. Everything just fades away, and then you're left with nothing.
I have no idea what he's talking about, but I think the gist is correct.
Right. This is the
think I
first time
agree
I
with
ain't going to
that.
stop him from talking.
And Dean kind of looks at you and he goes, well, I kind of understand what you're saying. But it sounds like at the end of this, I'll come out and I'll still have a whole lifetime to lead. So I think I'm in. And he reaches his hand out, and the leprechaun, like, hauls off and spits a nasty one in his hand and shakes the kid's hand. And then you see the kid, like, immediately gets, like, in D&D terms, it would be fairy fire, right? It, like, flows off the leprechaun's hand and around the kid.
So we all get advantage to hit him.
Yes. At
Get 'em!
night, you can wail on that kid. But the leprechaun, he turns around to all of you and he says, now, who's going to show me how to work this contraption? And he points up the hill.
I don't think that
I'll
was part of
show
the
you.
deal, right?
I agreed to show him how to work the radio.
So
Right.
So I'll trudge up the hill with Mr. Smith and show
Okay.
him how to use a radio.
And he follows you up, and he's truly delighted with the thing. But it doesn't actually have any reception yet because they haven't finished the tower. But
It's just
you explain
so-
how it's gonna work when they're done, and he's satisfied.
Yeah.
with that. He's all good. Yeah, he's pretty happy. He kind of looks back and he goes, "Are you sure you don't want to keep the shoes, boyo?"
I hate myself for the semblance of care and detail that you showed some of your victims and how it reminds me of how I would do it. So no, I do not want a reminder of the possible monster that I would become later on in life.
You say victim, I say thieves. So I guess we'll meet somewhere in the middle, eh?
We will, and if this young boy ever has a complaint, I'm gonna find you, and I'll do the same things you did to those people, but I'm gonna make it a lot slower.
Woohoo! You can try, boyo. And he truly has delight on his face. And he reaches in his pocket and he pulls out a pipe and he sticks it in and pulls out a little flint in his hand and starts flicking it and lights up his pipe and takes a big swig and then puffs out a ring. And then both he and Dean just, like, the ring expands and it's like they're just, like, camera wiped out of existence in front of you.
I'm very sad, Dave, that you didn't work in Lucky Charms somewhere into that. I was waiting for it. I was like, come on. It's charmingly delicious.
Oh, and the shoes that you left on the ground, they disappear too.
Yep.
No magic shoes for you either.
No, the two of you are standing there without magic shoes. Two of you have magic shoes. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
you're
Just
prepared.
nice shoes.
So with that, I think that's where we'll call it for tonight. And then next session, you have successfully dealt with a mysterious supernatural being. So next
Woohoo.
session, we will go into the mechanics of being able to use your newfound knowledge to improve Rose House back in London.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Butcher
Well, you know what?
shop.
As actually, the last thing before we close for tonight, I think, will be as you guys are hiking down the hill, in the distance, you see like a scraggle of lightning come down, like far out there. But you know how you can see like across an open plain, especially because you're on top of a hill.
You
Across an
know,
open
in
plain,
the
you see-
direction of Manchester.
Yeah.
Yeah, down that
Yeah.
road.
Gosh darn it.
Just
There's-
somewhere near a henge.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. You can't see that from here. It's dark. But you saw lightning just straight down from the sky. And you notice
We're
there aren't
fucked.
any clouds.
Maybe it's a very well-built Chris coming down from the sky with a hammer. Hmm?
It
Hmm?
could.
That is
Maybe a Hemsworth?
possible.
Huh? Yeah? Huh?
We still have, like, none of us tried to romance the leprechaun. We've got time.
I mean, I'm not saying the leprechaun wasn't in if somebody tried.
I thought I was flirting. Like, I thought I was halfway to like a date. Like, you know, I thought the meter was going up. I don't know what I did.
I
at
think
the
it
end.
was a little bit, especially at the end. I think he found your
Yeah.
challenge charming.
Yeah,
So,
see?
Oh my
It could have been a
God.
thing.
Like, flash forward to 30 years, and I'm like twirling my finger through his greenish chest hair. Oh man, we had such a weird beginning.
All right. So, thanks internet for joining us either live on Twitch or later in the various other places, podcast or YouTube or I don't know, carrier pigeon. What it would be a terrible latency, but maybe you'd get the show that way. But we will be back again next Monday to see where things go next. Thanks for our chat moderators. I saw James and I think Dork Lord Canada again was in there for tonight. So I greatly appreciate that. Because good heavens, there's no way I could do that also. And then the last group to thank is once again our Patreon supporters, who I will throw up in a minute on our outro. It's great. I appreciate it wholeheartedly, and that's why we can have nice things. So thank you all so much. Let's go around and say goodnight. Let's start with Sam.
Hello and good night. I'm Sam, also known as Red Pandroid on all of the socials. You can find me here every Monday, and that is it for games for me right now. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it.
Cool. Kurt.
Hi, I'm Kurt, and I was Jackie Princeton, the Texas Tornado. You can find me on Twitter at Kurt Potts. I'm going to be releasing a new adventure for Lighthearted, which I released the name today. It's called One Last Good Day. So keep an eye on my Twitter or go to lighthearted.games/newsletter to sign up and find out when it goes live.
Mitch.
Oh, you're muted.
Mute.
Hi, I'm Mitch Silent Spell. You can find me on the Twitters at Mitchos Bustios. And other than finding me here on Mondays, you'll find me in other Twitch channels, especially Weave the Tale, as our new season is coming up. We got some pretty cool shows coming, as well as Necrobiotic. This is one of the shirts.
That was such cool art.
I know, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a cool shirt. It feels very good, and you can sleep with it, and it smells nice. It's great. It'll tuck you in, I promise. So yeah, check it out at Necrobiotic pre-order. This was awesome.
Cool. Clara.
Hi, I am Clara, and you can find me all over the internet as clearly_golden, unless you're into mermaids, in which case you can find me on Instagram as mermaid_clarity. I'm here every Monday, and then I'm around on Queen's Court Games, where I have been playing Maya Lugosi, a La Sombra investigator over at the All Night Society, which can be found anywhere you stream podcasts. It's actually really cool, but Queen's Court has a bunch of stuff coming up, so I highly recommend following them on Twitter. They are in our chat, which is why I'm plugging them so hard, because they actually paid attention, which means I have to, yeah. Anyway, but yes, I blinked twice. But yeah, yeah, that's where I am. Usually, if someone tweets something that I am part of, I will retweet it if I remember. I'm trying to get better about that, I swear. Anyway, yes.
Dig it. And I have been, once again, CADAVE. Happy to be back and doing this because it's so much fun, and you are all awesome people, and I'm enjoying this game very much. And I wasn't sure if somebody was going to try and fight the leprechaun until the very end.
I'm so disappointed we didn't.
I was like, are we gonna?
I know,
get there? I
right?
don't know. I mean, he
next
legit-
time make friends with the monster. So
you guys said right up front that you're gonna try and be friendly with all the monsters. So
Well, we said we were gonna try to be more than friends. I think
Yeah.
it's either we're gonna be more than friends or we're gonna beat the crap out of
Listen.
them.
I
depends
mean,
on the monster.
Yeah.
it-
I mean,
it's
I
also
did pass up the opportunity to box a leprechaun. So
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
It,
that's
it would have
true.
it would have been just been like the end of the Fellowship of the Ring, just all CGI fighting.
Yeah.
Goats.
it would have been like
It's
the Yoda Dooku fight.
Yeah, it's just roll like
good
holy
fight.
heck.
It's a very good fight.
It's okay. We'll punch something later.
Yeah.
Two old people
Yep.
going at it.
We
find
will be
something to punch.
prepared. So thanks for everybody watching. We'll see you next week. Here come the Patreon folks, and then our calendar after that. So nighty night.
All right.
Bye.